Hey y'all, we are back. I'm laughing. Alice said prepare to be to be irritated by more prosecutors, y'all. So we are back, y'all. Y'all know we're gonna be covering YNW Melly, looking at some of the updates from YNW Melly. Because I've already spoke to y'all today. I'm just gonna say, hey everybody. There are two videos that I do have for us to watch. And that's gonna be Mariah Hamilton. We're going to watch her bond hearing, and then we're also going to watch the hearing where the attorneys argue about some of the stuff that's out pending within YNW Melly. So first, we're going to do Mariah Hamilton. After we no, yeah, let's do Mariah Hamilton first because I want to tackle Raven Liberty and her motions, which are she's making some serious allegations in her motions. So we'll listen to those too. Give me just a sec. Okay, so we'll watch both of those. So let's do Mariah first. After Mariah, remember this was Melly's girlfriend when all of this happened. And allegedly he FaceTimed her. He was in bushes. I think he told her he was hiding from someone. Her mom was arrested at one point. She was on house arrest too. They put a warrant out for arrest. I mean, just all types of stuff, wanting her to testify. She's been gone since the first trial. She popped back into the States. They apprehended her. Now she's on bond. This was Melly's girlfriend. Yes, we're gonna start with her, Ash. She was his girlfriend at the time. They're not together anymore. But yes, she was his girlfriend at the time. So let's start with her because hers is about, both of the hearings, guys, are about 30 minutes long. But I figured we start Mariah's hearing simply because I also want to tackle Raven's motions, and it might be best for us to do that second. Yep, they're both on house arrest now. Yes, Alice. Mariah's on house arrest as well as her mom. And as soon as Mariah got back into the country, she was apprehended. She was in Miami. Then they moved her to Broward County. So let's watch her first.
That doesn't count.
My bad, y'all. Who Mariah telling she love? Barchi, get over here. Who is she telling she loves, y'all? Wait a minute. This is my first time seeing this too, y'all. I didn't get to watch this because we were watching ASAP Rocky. I think her hearing was the day that the YSL hearing. It was a lot going on that day. Maybe it's family. Could be family. They said you know who. I don't know, y'all. Let's see. Cameraman messy.
Okay, you go on the record. This is on top of my page 2.
The cameraman be telling us it was Melly.
State versus done in 1872 CSNA. I continue to have this Collins Buckley president of the state. I continue to have Mr. Steve, Mr. Vance, and Mr. Benjamin. This will be present, and Mr. Dennis, who continues to be present. Ma'am, are you Mariah Hamilton?
Yes.
How are you doing, sir? Counsel, can you put your appearance on the record on behalf of Mr. Hamilton?
Of course. I am Christopher Barry.
They want to see it one more time. It's right at the beginning.
That doesn't count.
It's like, I don't know who she is.
Okay, let me go on the record. But I don't know that I can have the authority to move by and exercise my discretion to keep someone in custody between now and September for trial. So
Your Honor, we were here on Ms. Hamilton's mother, Felicia Holmes. Same argument as that, but even more so with Ms. Hamilton is she's evaded service. She's known about the warrant. She's even gone on Law and Crime and did an interview in her lawyer's office where she said she knew about the warrant. And I quote, "I'm currently wanted. I would rather get the warrant lifted. I'm lying low and not turning herself in." So
I'm sorry. Do y'all have time? I kind of feel like we need to pull that up because I thought it was the stupidest thing she could have done. I said, who the hell advised her to do that? Let me see if I could find it. I thought it was the stupidest thing to do. Hold up. Girl, hold on, y'all. I mean, why would you go do an interview? She did. Okay, we got time. Okay, thank you. Jaleesa said we got time. Let's pause this. Because I do like for us to have a full picture of what's going on. She speaks on the case, guys.
The two men were found shot to death on October 26, 2018, after Melly's co-defendant, Cortland Henry, or YNW Bortland, pulled up to the hospital with the bodies of Thomas and Williams in the car, claiming that they were all victims of a drive-by shooting. Now, the evidence has suggested that this was a staged drive-by shooting and that the shots actually came from inside the vehicle. And in their case, the prosecution focused on ballistics, trajectory, potential gang affiliations of YNW Melly, but in the end, it didn't work. The jury didn't find Melly guilty, but they also didn't find him not guilty. They actually couldn't make a decision. They were hung, and a mistrial was ultimately declared. It came after 14 hours of deliberations. Not an easy case. And as we think about the upcoming retrial, we look back at the case and we think, wow, there were a lot of people who testified. But there was one significant absence, someone who was mentioned but never appeared in court. YNW Melly's former girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton. Now, why is she so important? Well, Mariah Hamilton's mother, Felicia Holmes, told police in December of 2018 about a FaceTime call between Melly and Hamilton, her daughter, right after the shooting, where, according to her, Melly said someone shot the car up, that a car was coming behind him, that presumably the shooter or shooters were hiding there. And then he said he thinks Sack, Jason, and Juvie are dead.
Now, if you guys remember, Melly's attorneys, everyone has been trying to fight and say Melly wasn't there. He got into another car. So if the girlfriend testifies and says, yes, he FaceTimed me, he said that there was a shooting, he was there, he was hiding, then he was definitely at the scene. He was definitely at the scene. But yeah.
Then she says she saw Melly at this guy Fredo Bang's house. Apparently, Fredo picked him up after the shooting. And while she offered to Melly to stay with her after all of this happened, she says Melly went to a video shoot after all this happened. Okay, then at some point, Holmes says that her daughter told her that Melly was threatening her and that she feels Melly had something to do with the murders. Hamilton even talked to law enforcement about a text from Melly where he allegedly says, "I take lives." Hamilton also addressed possible tension that Melly may have had with one of the victims, and follow-up reporting indicates that might have been Sack Chaser. Now, this is important testimony, right? This is important evidence. But the problem was Miss Holmes' sworn deposition years later in 2022 was not consistent with what she told police in 2018. In fact, when Holmes took the stand in YNW Melly's trial,
look at her face.
Things got heated, basically accusing the government, from law enforcement to the prosecutor, of threatening her and her daughter, Mariah Hamilton, to testify against Melly.
Did you have an opportunity to read the statement you gave in 2018?
I read the statement.
Okay.
I don't remember anything from that statement, but I do remember my deposition from December 22.
Were you honest and truthful with law enforcement when you spoke with them?
I would hope so. I mean, it was 2018. I went through a lot during that year, so I'm not sure where my mindset was at that time. I do remember that they kind of bullied me and threatened my daughter and take her to jail for accessory after the fact. I do remember that.
When you first took the stand, you said, "I feel threatened."
Yes, sir, I do.
Who do you feel threatened?
Y'all didn't watch this whole trial, which is why we're going to watch it over. But I watched this part and I was stuck when this lady said this part.
By
Objection, Your Honor.
the rules.
Christine Bradley, the prosecutor's office.
This prosecutor.
Yes, I do.
So, with that in mind, we here at Law and Crime had the unique opportunity to actually interview Mariah Hamilton herself. Again, she never appeared in court. Now, in our interview, she was accompanied by her attorney, Christopher Barris. This was in his law office. And also her mother, Felicia Holmes, was there as well. And we asked her some questions. And with that,
Mama was
let's
there.
play you our interview. Mariah Hamilton, thank you so much for coming.
Y'all, her mama was there. So the girl evading the arrest. Her mama right there. Child, this. Okay.
On. I think I want to start off by just saying I'm so happy to see you and meet you, because it's been kind of, I think a lot of people wanted to hear from you. I think a lot of people were expecting to see you at the trial. And there's been some issues in terms of what's been happening with the police. If you can explain to people why we haven't seen you or heard from you.
You guys haven't seen or heard from me because I'm currently wanted. I've tried to get the warrant lifted plenty of times, but it's just been like a constant battle with my lawyer and the prosecutor. So I've just been, laying low, trying to get the warrant lifted before I could even come in and, speak my
No
part.
way she said this.
Let's talk about that. So, and by the way, you are in your lawyer's office. Your lawyer, Christopher Barris, is off to the side. He's going to come in a little bit later. Yeah. So I saw that it was only, I think, yesterday or the few days before, you filed a complaint against the lead investigator in YNW Melly's trial, Mark Moretti. And you basically accused him of bullying you and harassing you.
Key, this interview was a year ago. This was a year ago, y'all. Keep that in mind. This is a year ago. I think the mom testified. They must have taken her off of the ankle monitor by now. I don't know. But this was a year ago. Is the mom still on ankle monitor, y'all? Because the mama is there. Or did the girl sneak to the lawyer? Y'all, this is too much. This is too much. Well, they said she was in a lawyer's office. They said she was in a lawyer's office. No, Mariah, repeat after me. You haven't heard from me because... That's what I'm saying, y'all. But her mom is with her. The law and crime man said her mom is with her. This is... Mel, she's in custody. No. Okay, let me explain something to you guys. What we're watching right now is from a year ago. Yeah, this is from 1 year ago. She was not in custody. She was just arrested early February, late January, okay? She is now out of jail. We'll watch that hearing today too. And she does have an ankle monitor on her. So she is out of jail now. But when this interview was done, she was absolutely running from that warrant. She'd never been served. But then they issued the warrant. So at this point, she out, Tati. Yes, girl, she got out. We're going to watch that hearing too. They released her, but she has an ankle monitor. Yeah. But ain't no way she did an interview. Why would you do an interview? And then they used it in court and put the shit on law and crime.
Into providing testimony in this case. What can you tell us about that?
When the situation first happened, me and my mom I was threatened. I was 17, about to turn 18. They came to my house. They were telling me that they were going to arrest me with accessory after the fact. My mom didn't know what to do. I was young. I didn't have a criminal record. I didn't have a background. I was trying to go to the military at the time. So I had to just tell them what they wanted to hear so they could like leave me alone, which I thought they would leave me alone, but they didn't. So, yeah.
Why did they think that you were a part of what happened?
Because I was his girlfriend at the time. So they thought that I knew more than what I was telling them that I knew, which I didn't. So they were just harassing me being that I was his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend at the time.
When you say Mark Moretti was harassing you, what was he saying to you? What was he doing?
When he first came to my house, it was so unexpectedly. I had put up with my cousin and they were outside my house, parked. And I'm like, I was confused. I'm like, what's going on or whatever. I'm asking someone what's going on. She was like, they want to talk to you. You have to talk to them. They're threatening, saying that you're going to go to jail. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I end up telling him my story. I told him what I knew. He told me that I was lying. He told me that I knew more than what I was telling and that he was going to, he could arrest me for accessory after the fact. So we end up he wanted me to get on a tape recording and tell him what he wanted me to tell him, so which I did. After that, he was like, they wouldn't bother me anymore. I thought they wouldn't bother me anymore. They were still calling and texting my mom, asking for me. I refused to talk so many times. And yeah, I haven't really talked to them ever since then, since 2019. So, yeah.
And now you said that there's an arrest warrant, you know, it's still out, it's still outstanding. Why do you feel comfortable coming out now and talking about this?
Because I just want people to know that I'm not running because of like any money or anything like that. It's because I don't want to go to jail for something that I did. I don't want to go to jail for something that I didn't do or something that I'm not a part of. I just feel like people's looking at my side of this. They're looking at me wrong. And that's not what they're showing is not true, basically.
You want to clear the record. So you file this complaint against Mark Moretti.
Yes.
What are you hoping happens there?
I hope the judge can lift the warrant off me, and I don't mind coming in to talk. I never mind coming in to talk. Me and my lawyer tried to
I see it, Erin.
Go in to talk on so many occasions, but I was always threatened with, if I don't tell them what I want to hear, what they want to hear, I'm gonna go to jail. So it's like, I never went to jail before. So that's my main concern right now.
Oh, I get it. Let's talk a little bit about YNW Melly. So first of all, how did you meet him and when did you meet him?
I met him, I was 15. Yeah, I was 15. I met him through mutual friends. It was my homecoming night. He had just got out of a program. Yeah, he had just got out of a program.
I don't have to know.
We met through mutual friends. So he's different he's different. He's goofy. Yeah.
What was your relationship like with him?
He was a violent person at all. Like, he's never showed any violence towards me. So no. And
you ever see him?
Loved his friend.
You ever see him with weapons or anything like that?
Now, Jesse, now how the hell did you think this girl was going to answer that question? I know he's a journalist. He has to go there. But Jesse, come on now. And I'm going to just say, I think I saw a clip of the boy saying he has multiple personalities. I don't trust the person who walks around saying they have multiple personalities. Jesse. Hey, Kat, I'm finally going over all of these Melly motions that are out. So we're just kind of doing some catch up, if you will, on Melly right now. Yeah, he's a prosecutor now. Listen, Jesse has to know. Jesse doing a lot.
Yeah.
And the accusation that he was part of a gang, what do you make of that?
He never showed me that he was a part of a gang. He never told me like, hey, I'm a part of a gang or I'm this, I'm that. Like, the things that
Cat, I am Cat. I am Cat. I am. I know, Cat. I am.
That they were talking about during the trial, like I was new to that as
Mariah. First of all, where is Jesse going? Jesse, do you think this girl gonna sit on this television show and say the man was in the game? She won't even go talk to the prosecutors about a FaceTime call. Do you think she's gonna sit on national TV and say, "Oh yeah, I knew he was in the game"? Girl. Key, don't do that. Okay, hold on. Chat. Hold on. They have, and the crazy part, I will tell you guys this in all honesty. I really do have a meeting on Thursday with YouTube to go over memberships and make sure I'm using my memberships to give the best tiers. So I really do. I didn't know YouTube did this, but YouTube really does have account, what do they call themselves? Account executives. They'll reach out to you. So they've reached out and I have scheduled this meeting with them. I did. So I do have that coming up. I was really afraid to do the memberships and it not add real value. You know, I get having them, but I wanted to make sure I was doing them right and actually adding some sort of value. Because I know I do streams, but I need to make sure whatever I do is something that I can have to the people who are paying for memberships. So I do have that coming up on Thursday, meeting with an actual rep from YouTube. I'm taking a class on the memberships, guys. Okay? I am doing that. Yes, Emmy, but I am, guys. So I appreciate you too for doing things like that. I am having that meeting, and hopefully the end result is my memberships to be up. But y'all should know that about me right now. There's just certain stuff I need to read and research, and I didn't do it on my own. I'm happy they reached out and said something about this. So there we go.
well. Like I didn't know of him being or wanting to be, or however they're trying to paint the picture of him being in the game. So
Did you ever hear of any of those people that he was communicating with, that they say he was communicating with?
I heard about them, but I just thought everybody was just all friends, close friends. Like I was never a part of, he kept me out of anything that he ever had going on. So
I like that, Mariah. I like that answer.
they were like
When you-
friends to me.
When you say that he kept you, in other words, was he on his phone talking? People were like taking phone calls away from you, or not making sure he didn't see your
no.
phone? Nothing like that.
No. I had his password to his phone. So like, and he would never walk away while he's on the phone.
And this is why we shouldn't have done this. This is why we shouldn't have done this. You had an out. He said so. He talked about stuff around you. She was like, he would keep me away from everything. But in the same sentence, oh no, I had his password. He didn't ever step away when he had phone conversations. Everything. I knew everything. Baby, shut up. I just want her to be quiet now. I want her to be. It should have left it at I don't know, Kat. What are we doing right now? She should have just left it at I don't know. And her attorney is where, Shay? Right there. Shut her up. She says one right thing followed by 10 wrong. Yes, T. Like, girl, just baby, shut up. Just be quiet for me. The interview shouldn't have happened in the first place, but
To talk to anyone, not in front of him.
So, in other words, if he was part of a gang or he was talking to people
would
who were part of
know.
a gang, that's something you would have known.
I would have known, yeah. And no, I'd never known that. No.
I want to talk about Sack Chaser and Juvie. What were they like? You know, I really just want to get an understanding. Their lives were lost. It's a tragedy. What were they like? What was your relationship with them?
They were like family to me. They were like my brothers. They always made sure I was straight. Anywhere we go, like his shows, to the studio, anywhere. They made sure I was straight, like made sure I had something to eat. Like if I had to go to the bathroom, they would walk me to the bathroom. They were like big brothers to me, honestly. And I've never had brothers before, so I really appreciated that a lot. Like even when there was times where, you know, if it was an altercation, they'll make sure like I'm okay. They'll make sure I'm straight. So I really appreciate it.
I think I've been too into trials because every word matters. Why did she say altercation? Oh, because my next question is, what altercation? Girl, what happened? What was going on? Y'all.
Appreciated that a lot.
Did Melly ever have any problems with them? Because there were accusations that, you know, they might have been jealous of him. There might have been financial problems, money problems, anything like that. You see?
No, not at all. Like he loved them. They went them two out of everybody. It's a whole bunch of people a part of YNW. Them two, they were there everywhere he went. Like anywhere he would go, he would make sure they're in his budget. He would make sure they're a part of his budget. He would make sure they got a flight. He was just always helpful to everybody. So yeah.
Mariah, do you think Melly killed Sack Chaser and Juvie?
No, I do not.
What makes you say that?
Because he treated them like they were his brothers, like they all had the same mom and the same dad, which they didn't. But he never showed a sign that he didn't like them. He didn't want them around or anything in that sort. So that was just odd.
If he didn't do it, do you have a theory about who did do it?
No, I don't.
Good answer.
I don't.
What have you met Cortland Henry?
Yes, I did. Yes, I have.
What's he like?
He's cool. He's like a brother too. We're both Aquarius, so you know sometimes we have our little differences, but he's like a brother to me too. He's really cool. Yeah, I know him. That's the crazy part. I know him.
I'm gonna say, even though she's saying some crazy things, her face lights up when she's talking about these boys. They probably really meant something to her. At least that's what you know what? T, you sound like Key now. Hold up. Her face lights up when she's speaking about the boys. Have you all noticed that? With each one of the guys. Hey Tara, with each one of the guys. She did say they're both Aquarius.
Longer than I know Melly, so yeah. We just had, we had a long.
What's Melly's relationship with Cortland Henry?
The same. Like they've known each other for a long time. They all went to school together. They were like brothers. They were in a rap group together when they were younger. Yeah, they love the studio. They bond at the studio. Even outside the studio, they always bond. So, yeah.
Would you say that Melly's relationship with Cortland Henry was closer than it was with Sack Chaser and Juvie?
No, I wouldn't say that, no.
Do you think that he is capable of killing Sack Chaser and Henry?
I don't think so.
I want to get a little bit into what happened that night. The night that you found out, first let's just start from this. When you found out that they were killed, where were you and what was your reaction?
I was at home in Cocoa, and I was in shock. I was in disbelief. I didn't think it was true. I thought it wasn't true at all until I actually came down there and found out about it.
Who told you, or how'd you find out?
Answer that question.
Oh, the attorney speaks. Now, all of the crap she done said, she can't say who told her that the boys were dead. Why do y'all think she can't say who told her the boys were dead? What? The lawyer right beside her, Dream. The lawyer, that's who's talking. The lawyer is right beside her. He finally speaks because she can't say that Melly is the one who told her the boys were dead. Maybe I don't understand how bad that would be, but I mean, okay. 20 minutes into the interview. Yes, Aaron. 20 minutes into the interview, and we know that the lawyer is there. It was Melly.
The police are the ones that really told you the story.
Huh?
It was the police who
Is she high?
told you about the incident, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah. I found out through the police. Yeah.
Now are we supposed to believe that? Are we supposed to believe that? Okay, we'll ride with it. We'll ride with it.
They came to you and told
It
you.
might be
And what was your reaction? Were you just shocked? Did you break down into tears? Did you say, what's happening?
Erica.
Yeah, I was crying.
Wait, let me pause this to say something. Do you guys see how close they're sitting to each other and the lawyer can talk to her? During the OJ trial, something that I thought was strange, and this was in 1994. We see, like with Moontung, we see with anyone who took the stand that had an attorney, the attorney was in the gallery, and I don't even know what they could or could not have done. Mark Furman's attorney was sitting right beside him. So when they would ask him questions, the attorney would lean over and tell him what to say. And most of it was just pleading the fifth. But I thought that was strange because we don't see that in today's court. Just like her lawyer is sitting beside her, Mark Furman's attorney was right beside him. He was like, don't do that, plead the fifth. And Mark Furman would go to the microphone and plead the fifth. Just like we see right here.
I was terrified. I was scared. I was scared for everybody in the situation. Me and my mom went that way, and I couldn't. Ever since that situation, I couldn't sleep for a few days. Like I was just still in shock about the whole situation.
I wouldn't be able to sleep too if I
Did you call Melly immediately and say, are you okay? Or did he call you?
I went down there immediately.
Went down where?
To Miami, because I live in Cocoa at the time.
Right.
So I went to Miami. Yeah.
But did you speak to him before you went down and said, I'm on my way? Or
No.
Did he?
Did y'all hear the lawyer? Do y'all hear the lawyer? He said, listen. Brianna, that is her lawyer, y'all. That is the lawyer. I don't understand why he even had her do the interview in the first place. There's no way. Okay, let me rewind it.
Right.
So I went to Miami. Yeah.
But did you speak to him before you went down and said, I'm on my way? Or
No.
Did he say anything to you about the?
Do y'all know how like Mariah and I do stuff like this, okay? Mariah, if I pat my head like this, it's time to go. If I take my glasses off, it's time to go. That's the sign. He probably told her before this thing started. The answer is no. The answer is no. It can't be any more obvious. Just thank you, Keisha. I figured it was his hairline is bothering me, Miss Sheila. No way, as an attorney, you think her doing this interview was a good idea. I don't understand it, Key. You knew what they were going to ask. You had to know that. You had to know they were going to ask these questions. You just had to know. It just
The shootings?
No, he never talked to me about the shootings.
So there's been a lot of back and forth that he had communicated to you about it and said that he was in there, that it was a drive-by. Is that not true?
Wait a second. Mariah, Mariah's position, Jesse, is that
Baby, that lawyer had to go ahead and step in because Jesse is me. Jesse said, let's F all the BS and let's get to the real. Jesse is me. Let me go back because I was getting some fruit. Wait a minute. They said the mama said, I don't like this. Let's go back.
wait.
Drive-by indicated to you about it and said that he was there, that it was a drive-by. Is that not true?
Wait a second. Mariah, Mariah's position, Jesse, is that, she was never told by either Melly or Portland about the incident itself. She did learn about it, but she never had any conversation with either of those two individuals.
He
Talking.
to you about the shootings?
No,
You speak to him before you went down and said, I'm on my way, or
no,
did he say anything to you about the shootings?
no. He never talked to me about the shootings.
So there's been a lot of back and forth that he had
I heard it,
communicated
y'all.
to you about it and said that he was there, that it was a drive-by. Is that not true?
Wait a second. Mariah, Mariah's position, Jesse, is that, she was never told by either Melly or Portland about the incident itself. She did learn about it, but she never had any conversation with either of those two individuals about the actual incident, anything that happened that night. So the questions you're asking, I know everyone wants to know the answer to those questions, but I think that's what she's going to tell you, and no matter how many times you ask her that.
Well, I only asked her one time, so
Right,
I'm just curious if she says she didn't know anything about it, she didn't speak to him. I mean, I'm sure Mariah can tell me that, but I'm just curious.
Okay. Well, I want her to tell you herself, but I don't want this to turn into an if she tells you she doesn't know, she doesn't know, and it's not going to help to try to get into the after conversations or any.
Jesse is a journalist. Okay. This is what he does for a living. Naturally, he has questions. He wants to ask questions. He doesn't care about their trial, anything. Jesse is wanting to get to the bottom of the story. Why the hell would you think you can come on this show and he wasn't going to ask these questions? It makes no sense. I don't know what he thought. I don't know what he thought this was going to be. This is law and crime. Law and crime. This isn't the shade room. This isn't the shade room. This isn't the neighborhood talk. This isn't Millionaire Mel doing an interview on her YouTube. This is law and crime. This is law. Messy Jesse is hilarious. This is law and crime. Jesse is going to ask the hard questions because he's on law and crime. He feeds off this.
Any meetings that you may have had with either of the
Well,
two
I hope,
individuals.
Mariah, you don't think this is interrogation, but I will tell you, your lawyer did say that we could ask anything about the case. So I hope that this isn't a tension, but I just wanted to ask. If you don't want me to move on, I can definitely move on.
Concerning the night, with what I have going on with the situation, I don't feel comfortable speaking on the situation from that night.
Okay.
I love Justin Carter, I think is his name. I love him. But I said the shade room, neighborhood talk. I even threw myself in there to kind of soften the blow, simply to say that on these channels, we don't have 20, 30, 40 years of following crime stories, right? Having journalists that are specifically there to get to the bottom of crimes, right? Get to the story, what's underneath the story. We all don't have that track record. Law and crime does. So you had to know they were going to dig deeper. Baby, they coming at you like you are on trial. You had to know that. Like you had to know that. They listen, Jasmine, they want to dig deeper. Hell, in their minds, they can solve the case better than the police and the jury. Baby, they want to know. And you had to know. Jesse said, you see what Jesse just said? I hope we ain't beefing, Mariah. I don't want any problems. But your lawyer said we could ask any questions we wanted to. Jesse said he had to let Mariah know this is not me being messy. Your lawyer said I could do it. Your lawyer said I can do it. And they're about to eat her up when she gets on the stand. Lex, absolutely. Lex says they're going to eat her up when she gets on the stand. Listen, Key, thank you. Amy said, Lord Crown trying to do Detective Riley's work. Listen, but Ronnie, he has to interview her. He's trying to balance it out. Like, hey, don't be mad at me. I was told we could ask these questions, and that's why I'm asking. Listen, like the lie before we turn into Jesse is crazy.
So let's talk about the trial. Did you watch it at all?
No.
Yes, I have.
Oh.
What'd you think of it?
It was sometimes where I could watch it, and then sometimes I just cut it off, and yeah, I hated it. Like I didn't like it at all.
What'd you hate about it?
Just how the picture was painted. Basically, I didn't like that, especially with me and my mom, and how we got like paid off when that never happened. So.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. And by the way, if your mom wants to come in for this question, I would love to ask her about this too, because we covered the trial. Yes, your mom is there too. Hi. I just was curious. Hi. Good to see you. So I wanted to ask you real quick about this. That was a very heated moment in that courtroom between you and the prosecutor. What can you tell us about that?
It just was a lot of anger with me because of everything me and my daughter have been through.
Baby, Felicia Holmes is fine. Felicia. Let me tell you something. Felicia is absolutely beautiful. Mariah looks just like her to me. I did not think she was going to get on camera because she doesn't seem to be really feeling Jesse. But I guess she said she needs to speak her truth too. I didn't think she was going to get on camera. But see, as soon as I was typing, Mama said bye, she popped on the camera. They going to tear Mariah up on that stand. I agree. She lived out the country for an entire year. Here go Mel trying to gate you know what? But thank you, T. She is. Both are very pretty. I love to see it, Felicia. And she was very well spoken. I remember her from the trial.
Through what Christine Bradley's tried to put us through. I felt like we're getting persecuted more than the defendants, you know. I feel like the Cortland has more rights than I do. You know, I'm on a hard.
Hey, Yates. Y'all, did she not just put two names on it? Oh, I typed that in the chat too. She put a name on it. What? Let me just say this, guys. Something right there that's like, why did she use Cortland? I don't know if he had gone to jail, back to jail at this point, if he was still out, but innocent or guilty, he is a defendant. He's a defendant, and he's out roaming, and she is on house arrest. She said they're persecuting her and her daughter. Hey, Lauren. I just don't think this should have been done. Every little word matters. Every word matters.
An ankle monitor, and I'm supposed to be your witness. And when I'm telling you one thing, it's like you're not taking that for an answer. Even right before I came into the courtroom, I was in a little room with Christine, and she asked me a question. I told her I didn't know, and she was like, "Really, Felicia?" Like telling me you do know the answer. Like anything we tell them, you have to go back and forth with her with it. I'm going to file a complaint against Mrs. Bradley. That's something I'm talking to my lawyer about right now. I have with Dr. Detective Moretti, but we did just go to court. She had court on my birthday to have the ankle monitor off for her to get in front of the judge and say, like, I'm a flight risk. I'm not going to show up for testimony, and she doesn't want me to have it off. So at this point, I don't want to testify, but if I have to, I'm going to go plead the fifth because at this point, I'm going to get arrested. She's trying to send me to jail. I mean, there's no immunity for me and my child.
Can you both make this clear for anybody who's following and haven't followed the complexity? Has there ever been a point when either of you were evading law enforcement, evading the ability to testify, and they were trying to track you down and you were not cooperative? If you can make it clear about that, what that means. Were you ever evading law enforcement or trying to testify?
When you say evade, I'm not going to say I evaded them. What I'm going to say happened was I was a travel nurse in California. She was serving subpoenas in Florida. I'm in California. You're serving subpoenas to my ex-husband's house. We don't live there anymore. I have an address. Christine Bradley has not had one sheriff knock on my door in Orlando, Florida, and serve me a subpoena, not once, ever.
Mariah, what did you think of your mom's testimony? As I said, it was heated.
Yeah, it really was heated. Like I said, I didn't like it. I just felt like she was painting a wrong picture for me and my mom, basically making it seem like we were paid off, and that wasn't the case.
And that we were running from her when our lawyer has called her on so many times, and we've even set up times to meet with her to get this taken care of. And it's like with her, it's either you go to jail, you say what I want you to say, or you go to jail. And I don't think witnesses shouldn't be treated like that.
And that's the reason why that's the reason why I haven't.
My daughter's
came because you're threatening me with jail if I don't tell you what I want to hear. And it's like, that's not fair. I don't
She's never been to jail. She's had me in Broward County Jail. It's filthy. It's disgusting. I was treated like crap in there. I don't want my daughter to be put to that, do anything like that. So, I went to jail for it.
I'm not going to get into the substance of it, but just so we're clear, there's never been a situation where you told one story and then changed your story, because that's their accusation.
Yes, it has.
Their accusation is I told one story and changed my story, but they're not telling you that the story I initially told was under duress. We're basically forced to tell the story. Are you going to take my 17-year-old daughter to jail? I mean, I'm not trying to see my child go to jail for anybody. So if the stories did change, it changed because of what they set into play. It's on them that stories changed. But if I want to tell the truth, they don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear
right.
They want to hear whatever they can hear to make a case against Melly to convict him for first double homicide and get the death penalty. That's what Christine wants. She wants my story to help her get that.
Let me ask you both this. Were you surprised that they went for the death penalty against YNW Melly?
I was surprised. I was surprised with the death penalty because of the evidence. Because, I didn't even think he did it. The first person who ever told me that he did it was Detective Moretti. It never even crossed my mind. I was a mother-in-law who was thinking that, because I knew he had gotten to with other rappers, and my daughter actually got into an altercation with him and another rapper in California at a studio, and it happened maybe like 3-4 weeks before that. So I'm thinking that that's what happened. I'm thinking someone's trying to kill him. So that's what I was under the impression. I never once thought this young man, because he's always been happy, he's always been dancing, I've never seen him with a gun. So I never once thought that he could actually kill the two guys who I saw him with every time I saw it. It never crossed my mind.
And Mariah, what do you think again about they were going after him for the death penalty?
Yeah, it was crucial. It really hurt my heart for a minute. Even when he first went to jail, because it's like, it was just unbelievable, honestly. But,
so,
especially with
I was having a snack. Let me just rewind and just show y'all something. See, this is that foolishness. That
once
right
thought
there.
that he could actually kill two guys who I saw him with every time I saw it. It never crossed my mind.
And Mariah, what do you think? Again,
I don't know what he's doing. It's got to be some type of, I don't know what Melly was doing, but I remember watching this when it happened. I said, well, what are you doing in that courtroom? What are you doing in that courtroom? I said, what's going on here? But back to y'all talking about Mariah and her mother. Let me tell you how I feel about it. as a mother with a teenager, we don't know everything these kids have going on. We don't know everything their friends have going on, right? I believe Felicia. I believe Felicia when she says that her first thought was never that he did it because he's always with these guys. He never seemed like that type of person. I believe her. Here's the problem. Here is the problem though, y'all. Nick, everybody that's in here that believes the mom, let's tighten up for a second. Her initial story, because at the time, guys, they didn't think Melly did this. They believed the story he told them. And I don't know if guilty, innocent. I'm gonna have to watch the case again. Okay. Felicia, her statement was that Melly called her daughter. She overheard her daughter on the phone with him the night it happened, saying that he was in the bushes, someone shot their car up, and those two boys were probably dead. So this is where I don't believe Felicia. I do believe that happened. I do believe Melly called Mariah. I do believe, and this is why I struggle with, did someone shoot that car up? Was someone else in that car they're not telling us about? Because why would you call your girlfriend and say all of this when you could have just gone on, not had her involved? Why would you do that? You know? So I feel like Key, that was used to place him in the car. But Key, I really do believe she thought somebody shot at them. Whether we believe he did it or not, I do think when police came to talk to them, and that's probably because they checked his phone records, saw Mariah on there, I really do believe she didn't think he had anything to do with it. It was harmless. And then once stuff started coming out, she said, hold on just a minute. Damn, I shouldn't have said that. I don't think she meant to mess him up. Yeah, they have phone records. It seems like the mom and daughter are torn because they don't want to be involved in the situation, but clearly they don't know what happened. I don't think they know what happened either. But that phone call was made that night. And she did say that, Shay. She said that. The phone call was made that night. I do believe he called Mariah. Why the hell he called Mariah? I don't damn know. I don't know. I believe the drive-by. T, a piece of me just doesn't. This is why I knew he wasn't going to be guilty. Because, girl, I'm so torn. I think about my best friends. I have two best friends. One I've known since I was 16 years old. The other since I was 14. Y'all, I can't imagine killing them both and just going on with my life. Y'all see me, I cry about everything. Baby, I'd be a wreck. I wouldn't be able to live life. I would be a nervous wreck. So, I just can't see him doing it. But I don't know this young man, right? I don't know him. But I do know that phone call happened. I believe that. Yep, she was probably sick. Yeah, Key. I think that's what it is. And nah, ain't no drive-by happen. I don't care what they show. I'm gonna tell you, I lean more towards, I don't know. I can't tell y'all what I lean towards. I gotta watch this shit again. I wish I could. You also don't look like Melly. You got a point there too. Mel, so do you think it was another personality that did it? Could be Jasmine. Could be. That's why he caught. But Miss Sheila, why would you make that girl your safety net? Yeah, I'm pissed at this point because I just, you know what I don't like about y'all in the chat? And this real talk, this why I don't like this chat. Y'all make me think so much. I need Rocky's case to finish because I want to jump into YNW Melly now. I need to. Y'all make me think because y'all know I said we're going to be up in here by 8 o'clock. Y'all know how long it takes us to get through stuff because we really be talking and chatting, okay? I want to watch the damn case now. Damn it. Jasmine, we might need to not Mariah. Do we know how many days Melly was, y'all? If we can figure out how many days Melly was, because we know Naziah has a hearing on the 7th. Thug had something on the 21st. I'm kind of ready to do that. He probably wanted to plan an alibi and thought that Carl would help him with the story. I could see that. Renata said Melly did it. Now, I did see his face change a couple times at court. Could be another personality. He said he has them. I almost typed some. Not in a bad way, guys. The one thing I love about this community, I love how, like, there's so many different point of views. We're able to agree to disagree most times. I absolutely love the thought-provoking comments that we have in the chat, because this whole debate, did he do it? I'm like, I can't even tell you. I was about to tell T that I'm more towards he did it than not, but I cannot say that with 100% certainty because I don't remember everything about that case. You know, I don't remember enough, and I came in late to really say that. That's not right. That's not right for me to say. Could be an alibi. Please don't disappear. No, please don't. You really have to be a reasonable person for this trial because the evidence really wasn't there. Okay. Key, did he do it? It's hilarious. Trial started June 12th, ended July 22nd. I think we can rock that. If we did 8-hour days, I think we can do that. Let me see Shay's coming, because Shay's coming may be why I remember watching and kind of feeling like, I don't know. Hold on, Shay. I want to see what you said. I don't know how far up it was. Because you're coming may be why I feel like how I feel too. Something I do remember this much, y'all. It's something about that car. It was something about the car that really, something about that car really changed how I felt about everything. I don't remember what it was, but it was something about the car, either how the evidence was collected, how it's presented. It was something about that truck that changed how I felt. One day of trial for us is 3 days. It is, Ash. It is, but that's okay. Jay Lee, hold on. You think it was a gunshot, Slicks? Hold up. Hold on, because Jaleesa just said something about a trial. We've got to do Melly before. Oh, yes, Jaleesa, yes. We've got to knock Melly out before his new trial begins, that's for sure. We can't walk into the new trial not watching that old trial, because we need to kind of see how they've changed things up. We just can't do it. Let me see. The car didn't have blood spatters inside where it should have been if Melly was there. Maybe that was it. It was something about that car. And it said the bullet angles in the car. Yeah, I just couldn't. The car is something that was just like, damn, I can't go with their defense that Melly did it. It was that car. The bullet holes definitely looked like they were shot from the outside. Okay. We're going to have to limit some stuff. You're right, Key. We're going to have to figure out. What we probably need is someone like what Mariah does for me in my regular life, okay? Mariah is the person that says you're doing too much. We just probably need somebody to say, Mel, get it back together. They got out the damn car and shot it up. You think so? Okay, it was the gunshot trajectory, I think, and the blood spatter looked like a person was in the spot when they were shot. Key, we might have to put him on the back burner. You might be right. You might be right, Key. I ain't gonna even, you might be right. That might have to be something I just randomly do on weekends or something. Because sugar was grazed on his head. What, Miss Sheila? We got to do some, Tasha. Because we are back on Sunday. I didn't do it this Sunday because of Super Bowl. His last name is Demon. Y'all, when somebody said Demon, he said it's Demon. I said, okay, good. I was happy when they said that. OJ did. He did. I do Erica. I do. I do have one. Okay, guys. So we know that we got to watch the first trial. And I guess tonight I'll actually pull out. Y'all know I got my little planner. And they just gave me the dates of trial. So I do have that. And we can work around it. So that we know. I think that's worth a really great watch. I mean, that's going to be a great watch. Do you use it, Erica? Don't be messy on the live. Okay? Who did the drive-by in the Everglades? Make it make sense. Renata, we trying to make it make sense. And the fact that it was a deserted road, do y'all think it could have been a drug deal gone bad? I don't think they were in drugs, though. So there's that. Key, my kind of girl. My kind of girl. What you say, Mel? It's all about who tells the story the best. Yes, Lex. Prosecutors got to come harder this time. I agree. Oh, I got what you're saying, Miss Sheila. Hey, Dee. He knew she was loyal. They give you enough information, but if something goes down, you really don't know anything. Speaking from experience, I can see that, Dee. Oh, Zakia did have that story. It was Melly being greedy. Nikki, he definitely had motive when you look at it that way. But here's my thing with the greedy thing. Was he looking at, y'all, it's a dog over here. And she has Barchie beat with barking. And my niece is so crazy. My niece will open the door and yell at that dog and say, shut up. You see my baby quiet. She bark when people startle her. That dog sits on the porch and bark. Just like that. I don't know if y'all hear her. But that's not Barchie. That dog is like upstairs and 2 doors over. But yeah, that's not Barchie. That's not Barchie. Renata, I agree, Renata. I agree. I don't know what the Everglades is. I do remember them saying it was a deserted road. Like, just hear me out. You're in the car with 4 of your friends. It's a little tension, but y'all just left the studio. What do you say anything when they start? Why? What do you think they told them for it to not be a struggle for them to get out of the car? What the hell did they tell them for them to be okay with going down this dark road? No, y'all, there's somebody here. Okay, let's get back to this.
And about they were going after him for the death penalty.
Yeah, it was crucial. It really hurt my heart for a minute. Even when he first went to jail, because it's like it was just unbelievable, honestly. But, especially with somebody he was with every day, 24/7. So.
Mariah, you said you watched the trial. The prosecution presented evidence about where the bullets came from. They presented text messages about, whether or not he was involved in a gang. They presented evidence about, that he might have I did that on social media. When you were hearing the prosecution's evidence against YNW Melly, what did you think about it?
Honestly, I was just so in disbelief. Like I would watch it sometime and then I'd turn it off. like some parts of it, I just turn it off because it was just like, I can't believe this. Like this is not what it's supposed to be. Like it's not supposed to be like this at all. So, yeah.
And forgive me, is it Felicia?
Yeah, Felicia.
What did you think of the prosecution's case?
I thought that she did a piss poor job. I don't think she's a good prosecutor. I don't think she's a good person. I don't think she should even have that job. I'm trying to figure out what is Broward County doing with someone like her, presenting a case this magnitude. I don't think she should be there. I don't think she knows what she's doing. So that's why I think she's doing all the manipulative stuff, is because she doesn't have her case together. She dropped the ball on so many things. Get your case together and stop making the witnesses pay for your mistakes. And that's what she's doing. She's made so many mistakes, her and Detective Moretti, to now it's falling back on me and my daughter, to making everyone think that our testimony is going to make or break your case. Your case should not be based off of me speaking with him the morning of. I didn't think he did it. I didn't know he did it. So why would my testimony be the smoking gun? I don't understand why she would think that my testimony would help her. I don't understand.
The jury couldn't come to a decision. There was a mistrial. What was your reaction to that, both of you?
I thought that it was, I felt bad for Melly, because I felt like if to get this far and now you have a mistrial and have to go through all this again, I just kind of felt bad for him, because he's still in jail. Like everyone's thinking it's a celebration time because it was a mistrial. This man been in jail since 2018 off of evidence that's not even really there. So I felt bad for him. I'm not gonna lie. I felt bad for him.
I felt bad for him too. Despite like what me and him have going on, I wouldn't want to see him in that predicament and in that position at all, especially when I don't believe like what they're saying is true. So yeah.
Were you shocked, Mariah, that they couldn't come to a decision, or were you saying, I can understand that?
Zakia, Ash was just saying that, we're watching Melly. So can you put the theory you had about this case again in the chat? Ash was literally just saying, I believe Zakia's theory about the case. So can you put that in the chat for us? So we know he was shot second. Nikki, I gotta watch it. I just have to watch it again. And I don't like watching pieces, because I was going to say maybe we could watch pieces of testimony. I don't like that, because I want to be able to get, like, I want to see the case just as the jury does when I make a decision. And at least when you're seeing what they did. But yeah, we're going to have to see that, because I do remember them saying someone was probably asleep based on the wounds and the way their bodies were, or something like that. But I'd have to watch it to remember. I have to watch it to remember.
I was shocked, but also it's understandable. But I was shocked. Yes.
I was shocked. I thought it was going to be for sure not guilty with everything that Detective Moretti and Christine Bradley have done to.
But the system nowadays is not the same,
especially in Florida.
Yeah. So.
Well, if his retrial happens, Mariah, I'll start with you. And they want you.
Key, if I'm remembering correctly, I want to say Sack Chaser, who was in the front seat, they were saying he had to be asleep. And my only problem with that theory was, if Juvie was shot first, or wait a minute, let's clarify, because I don't know why I remember that too, trying to understand how was either one of them able to be shot and the other not wake up, if Juvie was asleep or if Sack Chaser was asleep. But I think the way Sack Chaser's body was is why they thought he was probably asleep. But here's this: if he was asleep and he was hit first, I was like, what if the thing was to get Sack Chaser out the way, right? And then they flipped on Juvie. What if that's what it was? The whole sleep thing, I don't know. Zakia said the police set them up. There was a robbery. They were pulled over by the cops, and Melly was framed, which is why he was calling Mariah from the bushes. Oh, okay. Okay. The bullet could have went through and through. You mean for both boys, Key? Are you talking about for both boys, Key? That is what the street's saying, y'all. Please don't turn on me. Why would we turn on you, Zakia? We're in here trying to make sense of what's going on. But we Ash reminded us about your theory. But okay, so Key, the only problem with the through and through, if it was done inside the car, is I don't know how that would have happened. Being that they're saying the shots came from the back driver's side seat. How do you? I don't know. She said that was very Wendy Williams coded. We love you, Zakia. Yeah, but I don't, Brianna. I gotta watch it again. I have to watch it again. I have to. That's why no gun residue was in the car. No doors were shot or windows were broken. Damn it. Okay. Let me stay on track. Because y'all know I just want to stop and go over. Let me stay on track. We got two hearings today.
Are you going to testify?
I'm just trying to get the warrant lifted. I don't mind going to court as long as the warrant is lifted, which she's giving me a hard time with that. So I honestly don't have an answer to that.
She's wasting taxpayers' money. She has me on a house arrest ban. I'm a nurse, you know. She's just, the lady's crazy. I think this is her career. It's for her career or something. This is personal, and you can see from me in her testimony that it was very personal. Like, she has a personal problem with me. It's nothing professional going on with me and Christine Bradley. This is all like we have the same baby daddy or something. Like, me and her have some beef with each other. That's how you can look at our testimony and see it's something personal going on there. So, you know,
I have to ask. I mean, if you end up on the witness box again and she's questioning.
Felicia said, she said that the ASA is up there acting like they got the same baby daddy, and that's why they beefing like this.
What's that going to look like?
I'm going to plead the fifth because I'm not. She wants me in jail. She wants to impeach me, and she knows this today. So why would I get on the stand in November when I already know what you intend to try to do to me? Ooh. So I'm going to go ahead and plead the fifth. So she's going to waste taxpayers' money for me to plead the fifth in November.
By the way, what did you both think of Melly's defense team?
I think they did a pretty good job. I think he had a pretty good defense team. I guess I've never met any of them personally except for that day, but I do think that they kind of did okay.
Mariah, what'd you think?
Yeah, I feel like they did good as well. They definitely.
I'm sorry, I don't want to hear Mariah talk about his defense.
I think Melly would have gotten shot too. I think he maybe was a target as well, and probably still is.
Any reason to think that, other than any?
Well, I said my daughter was just in. They just got jumped. They had just gotten jumped in Atlantic Records, I think, in LA. Was it Atlantic Records by NBA Youngboy and a whole bunch of guys. That just happened, and my daughter has a scar across her back about this long from the scuffle from the fight. You know.
So what was that like, Mariah?
Key. You said Felicia be talking too much. I got to go back. I got to go back. Felicia, how NBA Youngboy get in this?
Because I just don't see him killing Sack and Juvie. You know, I'm not even saying Sack a good person because Sack's not a good person. I don't care why everybody paint this picture about him. He's an awful person. But Juvie.
Did y'all hear what Felicia just said? See, I can't wait to watch this. Did y'all hear what Felicia just said? Felicia got smoke with everybody. Felicia said she don't give a damn about people trying to paint Sack as some good person he wasn't. Oh, Felicia.
Because I just don't see him killing Sack and Juvie. You know, I'm not even saying Sack a good person because Sack's not a good person. I don't care why everybody paint this picture about him. He's an awful person. But Juvie, good guy. I don't think anything bad should ever happen to him. But I think there's something pissed off.
Now I'm gonna say this. Let me say this from one mom to the next. I know that Miss Sheila, but from one mom to the next, that lady just said she doesn't think Juvie deserved any of this. And Sack did. And Sack did. Felicia don't give a damn. But I'm not mad at her honesty. It's probably just the delivery. I'm not mad at her honesty. I don't know if this was the time for that. You know, it's not your job to conjure up a reason for Sag being gone and saying other people could have done it. She did say what she said, Takia. She said what she said. But the boy's dead. You know, he has parents. You know, and I don't care what our babies look like to other people. They're still our babies. So just in that aspect, she could have kept that. You could have kept that, girl. You ain't even on trial. You could have kept that. That's for the defense team to say. They said that's Felicia 24/7. Baby Felicia, listen.
Somebody else. I think Melly would have gotten shot too. I think he maybe was a target as well. And probably still is.
Any reason to think that other than any?
Well, like I said, my daughter was just in, they just got jumped. They had just gotten jumped in Atlantic Records, I think, in LA. Was it Atlantic Records? By NBA Youngboy and a whole bunch of guys. That just happened. And my daughter has a scar across her back about this long from the scuffle from the fight. You know? So
what was that like, Mariah?
I was terrified. I thought I was going to lose my life that day, honestly. It happened so quickly. It happened so quickly. Like within a blink of an eye, we had just got to the studio and they all just started arguing and fighting. And next thing you know, we're getting jumped by so many guys. And I'm trying to shield and protect Melly. And the guys are not trying to hit me, but I'm literally
in the middle,
trying to lay on top of him just to like guard him. And
when was this? How soon before the shooting was this?
Baby Jesse even said this sound like some ignorant shit. Jesse said you was, baby, when was this? You didn't tell me you were gonna come on my show and say you was using yourself as a human shield for your boyfriend. Jesse had to stop. Okay, Key, I'm gonna pull it up. Jesse even had to stop. Baby Jesse said, hold on, baby, ain't nobody told me about this. Jesse said, ain't a soul told me you finna come on here and say that.
I think this was like in August of 2018. August or
about
September.
a month or so before the murders.
Yeah, it was like August or September of 2018.
Someone took his chain or something. They took his chain.
Yeah, his chain fell and they took it.
But they gave it back.
Like what started that?
We were outside and we were pulling up to the studio and his friend Melly's Zach was like, there go NBA Youngboy. So we're like, oh yeah, that is NBA Youngboy. So he's like, I feel like we're gonna get into it with him.
What?
So I'm just praying, like, God, please don't let us get into it with these people. Like, I hope not. So as we walk into the studio, like he give Melly a look, like he sighs him. So Zach, like, what's up? Like, you straight or whatever? And he's like, he was like, yeah, I'm good or whatever. Then he just started saying stuff. And then Zach ended up saying something back to him. And then Melly was like, what's up? And he swung on Melly, they fought. And then the guys started jumping in. Everybody just started jumping in. I tried to jump on top of Melly to like guard him.
We should need to hit her right.
It was just a big scuffle, honestly. Like,
right.
It was bad. It was horrible.
Did police ever look into this?
No. It was just like, it happened and that was it. Like, Melly chain fell. They took it and ran out the studio and left. And that was it, honestly. Like, they never,
Wow. Before I let you go, I have two quick questions. First one was, there was a lot made about YNW Melly's relationship with his mom and the way he spoke to her. Mariah, what can you tell us about that?
him and his mom relationship, he loved his mom. His mom is a crazy lady, though. She's crazy, but he loves her. She just always tried to come, but like he just wanted her to be a mom. Like she's a mother, so of course she's going to be on you about studio time, going to shows on time. She's going to be on him regardless, and he didn't want her to do that. So they always, bump heads a little bit when it came to that. But he loved his mom. She's a good mom to him. She wanted to be a manager, and he was like, "Nah, just be a mom. I don't want you to be a manager. Just be a mom."
I think that clashed with him and her, or that she wants to be more in the limelight, and he wants her behind the limelight. Yeah, he doesn't want. He wants her to be like a mom, a grandma mom, instead of a hip mom kind of thing.
I have to ask you your thoughts on what prosecution says. The biggest piece of evidence, the "shh, I did that" message. Do you think YNW Melly wrote that?
I honestly don't believe so. When they was showing it, like from his Instagram, so many people had his Instagram password. I even had his Instagram password from time to times. Like everybody shared everything when it came to his phone, to his social media.
It's not.
I used to be on there. I used to respond back to females all the time. So it's like I don't know if that's what he did or not. But I used to respond to females all the time. So I don't know.
What did you say, Mariah?
Just like, I used to say a few things, but I'm a changed person now. So,
Felicia, what do you think about the message?
I didn't take. I don't think he would even. I would hope, God forbid, if he did do it, which I hope he didn't. What sane person would text that kind of crap after doing all this so-called cover up, to cover up a homicide? You're just gonna automatically just text out. Shh, I did that to somebody. That's like confession. That's confession 101. I don't think a sane person would do that. I don't think a person who did all this, she's saying he did to cover up this homicide, no fingerprints and no DNA and stuff, but you're going to just go confess to it later. I just think the state's reaching with that. I think they need to get better evidence. I don't think they're doing a good job.
Mariah, Felicia, thank you both so much for coming on and talking to me. I really appreciate it. Before I let you go, I know Christopher is going to come in real quick. He has a statement that he wants to make, but I just want to thank both of you. It's a pleasure to talking to you. Pleasure to meet both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you.
So Christopher, you're coming in here. I know you got there's one last thing that you wanted the viewers to know, correct?
Yes. Number one, thank you for allowing Mariah to get her story out, if you will. If you want to call it a story, I think you've gotten all of the information that she would provide the prosecution with during this interview today. Lastly, I'd like to say that, it's the prosecutor that has the power to change the situation. Mariah has indicated she's willing to come to court, to trial, to testify. She's not been avoiding that out of disrespect for the court. She's been avoiding that out of fear of arrest. I think that's been made clear today. I tried to make that clear in our earlier interview regarding Ms. Holmes' testimony during trial. So, again, the prosecutor has the power to change the situation. She can go to the judge ex parte, like she did when she obtained the arrest order, and she can ask the judge to withdraw the arrest order for Mariah. Simple as that. And I think that you would find Mariah willing, ready, willing, able to make it to court, to give her input, the information she does have regarding this case.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Wishing you guys the best of luck. And thank you again for coming here on Law and Crime and talking a little bit more about the case with us.
Oh my guys. All right. Key sent us some pictures, guys. I'm going to put them up on the screen. Yeah, these are from the crime scene, just an FYI. So you guys are prepared for this. These are some of the images from the car. I can only bring up one at a time. So these images, car 2, 3, and then I have car 1. All right. Now this is interesting, one of these videos. So this is one of the crime scene pictures from the car that they were in. And you see all of the blood is primarily on that back passenger seat. That's where Juvie was sitting. Yeah, this is the back passenger seat. Yes, blood warning. Lots of blood. This is your warning. If you don't want to see it, don't look. Don't look. So let's see, full screen layout. Oh, that didn't help. I thought that was gonna help us, but it doesn't help. I'm gonna leave it like that. So this is one of the crime scene photos. Tati, what did it screen? This is number 2. Here, this is another crime scene photo. This is the actual vehicle that they were in. Again, this is the back seat. Now, this one here, I don't know if I remember this back seat, this back window being out. But was there testimony, you guys that watch? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to let this go by. I think it's someone's car alarm. And I'm like right by the parking deck. Hold on. Okay, it's off. Was there testimony that these young men had shots after they were already dead? For instance, look at this back window being shot out, but you can clearly see the line of sight to that back passenger seat. Was there evidence that happened, y'all? T, I agree. I told you it was this car. I don't know if this is where I was stuck at. I don't want to lie and say that, but I'm looking at the pictures and like, how does he do though? How does he make those gunshots from the position he was in? I don't know who that was, Erica. I'm interested to see the back window. Okay, Nikki is saying that there is evidence that there were shots made after the boys were already dead, which would make sense for what I'm seeing right now. The back window that made you go, okay. Well, Keisha, here's the thing. Are those shots that came from the back? Are those shots that came after they were already dead? The Emmy said this. Okay, so T and Emmy said this. Okay. So the shots came from behind, they shot out the window, or Zakia. If we go by what the prosecution is asserting, the boys were killed, and then they get out of the car and make this look like a drive-by, i.e. back window busted out, more shots to the boys' bodies. I feel like after this happened, they got out the car and shot it up. A lot of kids, you're 21, Mariah is 19. I didn't even know about this case. Mariah I told you, she kept saying, oh, that boy, he killed his friends. I'm like, what? I didn't know it was this bad. I just thought it was some kid say. So Key, I know a lot of younger kids, they really do believe he did this. Jasmine, I can't answer that. They shot up the car after they shot them in the car. That's why I feel like they did it. Let me go back. So he got out the car, shot the window. That is what they're alleging, Zakia. So how did he kill them first? Journey. Don't ask questions like that, Journey. Jasmine. Jasmine, I'm really practicing really great restraint because I know we need to watch everything, but girl, I'm so tempted to pull up the testimony specifically when it came to this car. Murder on My Mind will convict him alone. Lyrics shouldn't be used, but damn, he shouldn't have made that sound. Let's pull up the lyrics real quick. Mariah said it. My little girl, my daughter Mariah. She said this. She's like, "Oh, this song is about him killing his friends." I said, "What? When was this song released?" Oh, hold on, y'all. Hello. I took you off mute. Y'all, T had to call me. T said I had to check. T said, She said Murder on My Mind. Y'all, she said Murder on My Mind was dropped a year and a half before on SoundCloud before it went to YouTube.
Yeah, and then it dropped on his actual album officially more than 6 months before, and then they shot the video a few months before they were even murdered. So this song had been out for over a year. So that's why you didn't let me put the thing in the chat? Because you couldn't say. I was about to say, I don't pull up them lyrics because they gonna convict his ass. Now, I don't believe he did it, but I believe he ain't innocent. But I gotta tell you my theory. I can't tell you my lies because they gonna get me.
Oh, they're gonna hate you. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was Key. That's what T was calling me to tell me. She said, don't say it. That was way before. She actually watched the trial too. Don't get at me. I'm just letting y'all know how a jury would think. Lex, what you say? Let me see what you said, Lex. Let me see what you said, Lex. Well, Lex, you know over here, over here, Lex, too. We're all reasonable people, so we believe we think like the juror too. So it's okay. You can tell us. Baby T called me so quick. I'm waiting on her. I put the link in the chat. So as soon as she comes back, we can she'll probably tell us her theory. Okay. No, we not, because I don't think he did it, but the evidence I watched, nothing adds up. It's a lot. Taylor, I think, I know it's in 2018, October 2018, guys. Hold on. I don't think he did it, but he may have set it up. At this point, it's speculation, but Florida Jacksonville folks have a different theory. I believe Melly saw who did it. Okay, October 2018. Okay, there she go. Here she go, y'all. Okay, friend.
Y'all be trying to get me in trouble, man.
Don't get in trouble, but we yes. Tell us the theory. We don't judge.
Y'all, okay, hear me out. Listen. Oh, I don't mean this about nobody's baby. Y'all know I got 2 babies, nephews, bonus children, godson. So I don't mean no harm by saying this. I really don't. And I am by no ways condoning Miss Felicia's last comment, even though Miss Felicia got one job, and that one job is Mariah. So I ain't gonna never hold her, because if my one job is Dallas and Denver, damn the rest, okay? But this is my thing. YNW Melly is the only YNW that YNW'd, right? Like we said, we didn't know it was more than one ASAP, because only one ASAP was ASAP.
I follow you.
So
baby,
if you got,
it explains me always calling ASAP Rocky just ASAP, because I didn't know it was more of them.
I did the same thing. People was like, well, which one? Okay, so my thing is, when it's only one YNW, that's YNW. You got folks like Relly that will call it a conglomerate when we don't know who a Relly is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that these boys didn't do anything. What I'm saying is, if you have, okay, I'll do this. Melly grown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Melly did not have control of his funds. And they talked about that in the first trial about how
They
you had to
did.
go to his manager.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying no names, okay, y'all? Do not do this to me. I'm not saying no names. I'm just saying, if you think you gonna YNW and you got a YNW with you, that's more like a crash out than a rally, meaning you ain't leaving me. I am YNW. I'm coming with you. Oh, you got a check? Cut that bitch in four. We all eating. And it's no longer a choice of yours. Do you really think said person who is capable of said things is actually going to go away if you just cut ties or just get security or just move on? They know where your mama stay, where your sister stay, where your cousin stay. So if you
Girl, BG, hold up. BG talk about BG,
so
goodbye.
if you relinquish
She on the
the
tablet
funds,
area.
if you relinquish the funds, so if every time you come at me, you expect me to cut the check, and I'm just gonna cut the check for safety and security, right? I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke. The only way I can protect you from getting to that money or coming after me for that money or coming after my mama for my money is giving it to the manager. Now I have plausible deniability. He got it. He got to cut the check. Waiting on him. He got to check the books. So if there is somebody that just, I don't want to say a bully because I would be speaking on somebody's child who is no
Yeah.
longer here. But if you have somebody where you are at your wits' end and you don't know how to figure out how to stop it, and you know said thing ain't gonna stop, I'm not saying he did it, because I really do believe.
I follow you now. I follow you
Okay,
now.
I'm
It's
not
giving, it's
saying
going back to Felicia's statement.
they're
Felicia's
going back,
statement where she
but
was
you know,
like,
I'm just
yep.
saying, going back to Mariah's statement. Somebody even said in the chat, she trying to make it look like Melly's scared in every confrontation. What if he is? What if he the
is?
talent and somebody else the muscle? But if muscle can say it, turn on you. Now, I'm not saying he did it, but I also ain't saying he ain't know about it. I don't believe from that angle it was possible.
Yes,
That's
T.
just me. Also, and
Not
like,
saying he is, T. Not saying, okay, let me, because it took me a minute. Do you guys remember she's trying not to speak on a person's child, and I understand it. So the very same child, I said, damn, why Felicia say that about the one child, y'all? Remember Felicia said, I don't know why they're trying to act like this one child is a good person. He wasn't a good person. Remember Felicia said that. This is also the person who was in the front seat. What Miss J is saying, what if, just what if the manager always having Melly's money was supposed to be a barrier between Melly and this person? What if that person was a bully? She said, I'm not saying that Melly did it. I'm not saying he didn't do it. What I am saying is, what if, in order for him to reach the heights he needed to go to, they had to eliminate this bully, and maybe that's where all of this is coming from. Did I say that right, T?
yes, that's what it kind of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is also that we know he couldn't put it with his mom. We know he didn't have anybody else that he could trust with it. But we also know what no other YNW getting Kanye features. What no other person getting the clout that he's getting. So, and nobody else was as successful as him. Even though he put them in a documentary, even though they have been on songs, none of those songs are what's cleared. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so everybody can put YNW in their name, But the truth of the matter is he was cutting checks 4 ways. He was giving them a cut. Everybody was living in his house. Everybody was driving the rentals that he rented. He was
Well,
the
T, we
source.
saw it. If I'm T, I'm talking to T in the chat, big T, but to T on the screen. Correct me if I'm wrong. They did show text messages where you could kind of see there was something going on between Melly and Sack. Maybe not they hated each other, but there was like some little tension going on because
It wasn't no little
2018
tension. They
Melly,
had just fought.
huh?
They had just fought right before that studio session.
Okay.
So they had a little tussle. They had a little friendly fade. But what I'm saying is, you ain't gonna have a friendly fade and then chill with that person unless that's really your brother or you really ain't trying to have that type of smoke. Yeah, YNW Juvie's dad, I felt so bad for that man. Juvie's dad, I feel so bad for him.
And I feel I mean I feel both bad for both of them, but listening to Felicia and then thinking about his parents, he was probably just I have to hear this theory again, but I want to say the theory was that they were expecting a big check. And expecting this big check, it was gonna have to be split. Could have sworn I stopped it. It was going to have to be split evenly because all of them were YNW, but Sack and Melly were getting the most of the money, and it was like 500,000-600,000. Was that right?
Yeah, it was a few checks that they bought up. It was a few checks. I didn't understand. I'm gonna just say that. I know the man, I think they said the manager brought it up too, that he didn't understand why there was a split and what was going on. And it was just like, why were you still splitting? I understood why he was probably splitting it, but their splits start not being so even. Right. So
Yes.
Melly started taking the bulk of it and then splitting what was the rest of it. And I don't think that was going over well either. To be honest, some of the wounds, the way the medical examiner testified, and we just gonna have to do the rewatch, but the way the medical examiner was testifying was that there were wounds that were leaking and wounds that were not. And the ones that were not were presumed to be the ones that were done after the heart had
After they
stopped.
died. Okay.
So
After the heart stopped. Yeah.
So some wounds were near others, which would say that somebody had to step outside of it, but it just wasn't adding up. And it didn't help that they had the card the entire time for all those years, and magically Melly's DNA wasn't found till like a couple weeks before the trial. Like
Yep. I remember that
it
too.
was
I
so
remember
many
that too.
things that just didn't add up. Something fluky happened. Period. More people know more than what they're letting on. But I think telling the truth is going to implicate more people, and they're not going to do it. I think this was a childish ass piss poor attempt to rid themselves of something they didn't know, have the adult mind to figure out. Um, I just don't. Oh, God, his manager was also King Von's manager. Ooh, please don't say stuff like that. You gonna have my brain every freaking where.
Yes, Alice. The lead detective and the prosecutor were both corrupt. There's that too.
Yeah, that too. And that's why I feel like Buckaloo is coming back for Bradley. She is coming back with a vengeance. It's personal for Buckaloo. It's personal. It was personal for Bradley. I feel like it's personal for Moretti. I feel like he got more against that boy than he gonna let on. He gonna tell the truth about, because the way he's coming after Melly.
It's like Glanville. They already presume them as guilty, and you're gonna go to jail for it.
See, and the thing is, so while I was watching the trial, there was a lot of things going on where they talked about basically how much time Melly has spent in, like more in than out, from like 17 up until this point, to him turning himself in, where even like maybe his 18th birthday or something like that was spent in. Like, so they're aware of him in Pum Pums a lot, like on and off again, like every 6 months type thing. So with him having that type of record. I think he just felt like, like we saw in this, they presumed that it must be because it's you. And then also during the trial, how can I say? Also during the trial, there was a lot of allegedlys going on in all the chats and stuff like that that said that long before this, there was an officer in said county that was unalived, and that they believed
That's what Zakia was talking about.
Melly to
He's
have
from the area.
had something. Yeah, they believed that he was the culprit or had something to do with it, or should have been guilty of it, and was never able to prosecute. So they do believe that they got him, held him until that law changed about not having to be unanimous for the needle, and then went ahead and they're charging this and pursuing this as if they would have for said cop. So if that is true in that area, that actually happened, and that would explain why they're after him in such a way where you say, oh, I'm the supervisor of the people who collected the evidence from the car, but I went down there to double check just in case it wasn't done correctly. Well, if you're their supervisor and you're the one that trained them, why the fuck didn't they catch it years ago? How you go down there and just automatic, like, so
Now
it's
you
like
see it.
now you all of a sudden see it. Aren't these the people you trained? Like, so what's the problem? So stuff like that happening, if he is guilty, gives him the possibility of being found not guilty because they're playing games like this instead of going by the
I don't know
evidence.
why they just won't. I don't like that. It never ends well when you play dirty. It
And
never ends well. It
Moretti
never
played
ends well.
dirty. Bradley played dirty. They all played dirty. So if somebody is guilty of something, you're placing doubt in everybody's mind that maybe he's not guilty, when the thing is, well, maybe you just don't deserve the guilty verdict.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw all of that when that all popped off at the end of that trial, when that lady from the DA's office got up there and told that Moretti was under investigation for that, and Bradley knew it, and that judge put Bradley off that case. Buckaloo came in there and was like, cool, I'm gonna ask one more time. I think she should stay on the case. And when that judge said no, she said, cool, because she ain't charged this right anyway. And I got about 6, 7, 8 more charges. I'm gonna add to this real quick. And yeah, I got a whole nother case. We're gonna do that too. And it was like just back to back to back. It was definitely
It's
very
amazing.
vengeful. It was very vengeful. It was very spiteful. It was it was just very, like, no accountability that something like this had happened within the DA's office. It was just like,
And that's what I was so
let's
bothered by.
add some more
I mean,
charges.
they're
He'll be guilty of
literally.
something.
I'm like, these people are rigging the game in 4K. We're watching it, and you're just letting them go on by and do it. Y'all, I'm gonna pull up. We got with Mariah. I'm gonna pull up her hearing, because y'all know the whole point of us watching that is because Christine, the ASA is talking about this interview. So we've seen the interview now. Now let's double back to her after she's arrested, coming back into the country. She wants to get out of jail. So this is her hearing with her trying to get out of jail.
Okay, I'm hop back down.
Okay. I love talking to T about the case. She watched the whole thing, so
I would ask that if your honor is inclined to release her based on all this, that you at least put an ankle monitor on her, just like Ms. Holmes, to make sure that she shows up when she's supposed to show up.
Okay, yes, sir.
Your Honor, I have not had any opportunity to speak with Ms. Hamilton yet. May I have 5, 10 minutes?
Yeah, sure. I'll press pause.
Can I have some privacy, or do I need
Well,
to speak?
I'm gonna let you go over there, and we're gonna go off the record and take your time. So be ready for me to go back on the record.
All right, thank you.
Maybe we can address the housekeeping issue on Mr. Stevens'
Yeah, that's
case.
fine. Okay, well, in the interim, so I'm pressing pause on Ms. Hamilton's matter right now. Mr. Benjamin, what can I do for you?
Judge, after this morning's session, we all conferenced and we talked to the state, and we would like to, or tennis move, Your Honor, to extend the time for filing motions and notices of hearings for some time, so we can 10 days so we can address some of the matters that came up since we just got the contents of the warrant hours ago.
You don't want to you don't want me to hear anything on February 18th? You want me to give you more time, give you a reset date, do all that stuff you want me to do?
I'm sorry, I had to stop. Key said, let the outsiders tell it we talk too much. But this is why I love this chat, because it's not just me talking, it's the chat as well. And we have to figure stuff out over here, baby. We don't just skip along. We've got to sort it out. And if you watch this channel, I have to tell you guys that it needs to make sense in my brain. When T, and I'm talking about Miss Jefferson, when she was telling that story, and you know, she was trying to have us read between the lines, baby, I had to keep listening to the lines till I could find the in between of the lines. But baby, this is how we do over here, okay? This is how we do it over here. It has to make sense to us over here, especially me. I'm a little slower than the chat sometimes. It has to make sense. It has to make sense.
I hear on that or possible other motions that address the issues from this morning, we're asking for an additional 10 days.
Well, there's no deadline on you regarding new motions. The only deadline was whatever you want me to hear on February 18th.
I misunderstood. I thought we had to file and notice all motions.
Only you want me to hear it on February.
Oh, okay.
So with that said, because I am here, I this morning addressed that I wanted to change the 23 or the 2019, but I'm here, so if I could just have until like 9 o'clock this evening rather than the cut of top of business, and I'll do it once I can.
That's fine. We have no objection to that.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
All right, so listen, Mr. Devlin, the all pending motion is going to remain February 18th at 9:30. I'm going to do whatever we can do that day. I guess at the conclusion of that, there's additional things that are either going to be filed or have been filed that I'm going to have to hear. I'll give you another date after that. The reason I picked that date is because February 19th is when I'm starting my next trial, and I'll probably keep bringing you all back the day before with high hopes that I've completed the previous trial, but the next trial hasn't started yet. And I'll do that as much as, I will make myself available to you as much as I can to hear whatever you want me to hear. All right? All right, so he stays on for February 18th at 9:30, and his trial date remains as previously set.
Your Honor, I just want to inform the court, since I'm doing the appeals that are still pending, that we can't file any motions or hearings because of, just want to let you know, the fourth has still not set them down even for oral argument.
Yeah.
So I just want to let the court know.
Understood.
Please, Jaleesa. Is she pregnant?
We'll see what the fourth says.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know
We'll
that.
see what the fourth says.
No, I know.
Stressing that baby out with all this foolishness. Thank you, Lex. Oh, this must be Mariah friend. Y'all, that lady is crazy. Y'all thought that was Motu Glory over there for a second. I said, now what the hell he doing?
Yeah.
BG Cell, Erica, go on there, man. I don't like the live. I'm good. Dixie, I thought he took the grills out. Malie said the prosecutor giving that baby bad juju. That's hilarious. Yeah, that man looking like Mr. Right. I don't care what y'all say. I don't think he had those grills in anymore. I think those his teeth they just did. I think he took the grills out. Who's that coming in? Ooh, who is that? Who's that? You don't look too bad. Okay. tap that on there. This was last week. Keeping the camera on him. He's looking cute. Yes, Malik, I got the search warrant, Malik. We are going to go over there, Malik. Malik, the search warrant was BS. Malik, I don't think I've seen your name before. So welcome to the chat. Thanks for commenting. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. T, talking about run me there. Jaleesa, go get played. They ain't saying nothing. Are you trying to see the man? He look a little young though. He cool. He like a little baby though. Okay, they're not even talking right now because she's talking to her attorney. Okay, they're bad. Right.
Yes, sir.
So, thank you, Judge. I have had some time to speak with Ms. Hamilton.
Oh, she did, Jaleesa.
The way I see it, Judge, there's only really one issue here today for the court to decide. And that is whether Ms. Hamilton was legally obligated to appear. The issue is not, whether Ms. Hamilton knew that the police or the prosecutors wanted to talk with her. And those are different issues. We're talking about legal obligation, not maybe a moral obligation or some other obligation. My answer to the question is no. She had no legal obligation to appear. Defense has evidence that she was not served. And I hope the court understands I was not Ms. Hamilton's attorney when I believe the former prosecutor filed a motion for an order to show cause. I wasn't the attorney back then.
Is this Chris, y'all?
So I don't know the events that happened back then. I'm not even sure. I haven't seen a show cause order issued by the court.
I don't think there is.
Well, that's another problem, sir, I have.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't think she's ever been held in direct and indirect criminal contempt. She's in custody pursuant to 942.03, the procedure for securing witnesses maybe from outside of the state.
Well, and I'm not sure. I did see that document. It's the most curious document I have ever seen. A witness coming from outside of the state. What? Again, there's a constitutional issue with that writ or warrant or whatever we call it. No notice, no opportunity to be heard. I don't have any facts that have been, I should say, the state has not presented me any facts that she was ever out of the state. So also, that document, if it is a proper writ or warrant, is stale. That document addresses a trial that happened in 2022. And I believe, I don't have it in front of me, I believe it orders that Ms. Hamilton be arrested and detained for no longer than 60 days during the period or pendency of that trial back in 2022. So it's a stale warrant to begin with. I don't see any legal basis for her to have been arrested or to remain in custody. And, in my initial motion, the emergency motion I filed, I did ask ultimately for an ROR. I don't think that's appropriate. I think the court must release her, no conditions. I mean, if the state feels that she's a material witness, I suppose they can serve her with a proper subpoena right now in court or before she leaves custody.
This was like this.
I do have
This was Friday.
evidence. I can give the court evidence.
Let me tell you.
But I believe
It's
it's really the state's burden to show that there was a valid subpoena served upon Ms. Hamilton as the basis for this arrest.
Well, listen, I agree with you, that's not the only reason.
Well, thank you, Judge.
What we're doing going forward here is, and again, so the record's clear, I'm only proceeding under 902.15. When a defendant is held to answer on a charge for a crime punishable by death or life imprisonment, that's Mr. Dennis' case.
Right.
The trial court judge in a preliminary hearing, that's what we're doing right now. They require each material witness to enter into a written recognizance to appear at the trial or forfeit a sum fixed by the trial court judge. Additional security may be required at the discretion of the trial court judge. The state telling me that she is a material, but they do.
Okay, so basically the judge is saying, her lawyer stood there and he just argued, which I thought he did make some great points, that listen, they're holding her based off of a subpoena that's stale. He said that subpoena is no good. It references a case that has already happened, that's in the past. It's no good. The judge is saying, I agree with everything that you're saying. However, I'm holding her based on, and he gave the statute, which states that the state is telling him she's a material witness. She needs to appear in court. So that's what they're dealing with right now.
Do intend for her to appear, so I'm probably inclined to follow the state's recommendations we did with the other similarly situated witness, which was R.O.R. Put her on pretrial with an electronic monitor, obey the cost of the monitor. The only thing that she has to do is if she's served either by the state or by the defense, by any party, she just has to answer the same, just like anybody else. The rules apply to her the same as everybody else. I agree. I don't think there's any legal basis to hold her in custody at this point, unless someone shows me something different. But I couldn't find anywhere in the court record where Judge Siegel or Judge Murphy or any judge found her indirectly correcting the account. This was merely a question of non-cooperative material witness. I think.
That's correct, Your Honor. And just to be clear, this was all taken up.
Wait a minute, what? Renata said, Mel, don't believe her. The streets ain't say that. Are you caught up? Because I don't know why you said that. Don't believe her. The streets ain't say that. Tell me what you mean by that, Renata.
With all the documents that these motions are asking for, her counsel, if it was previous counsel, they had all this because it's all in the appellate record. You can pull it all up with the subpoenas and testimony by the state's investigator, transcripts, all of that is there that discusses what efforts were taken. And Judge Siegel had that hearing, ruled in favor of the state. It was taken up and it was denied on the merits.
Right. But I mean, at this point, do you have any objection to me proceeding as I articulated?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any objection?
Yes, I do. I think the state created this whole problem, and I don't think they should benefit or be punishing Ms. Hamilton by requiring a monitor or any kind of restriction on her freedom. The reason I say that, notwithstanding any appeal that was decided in favor of the state, there was a lie told. There was false information regarding the subpoena that was purportedly validly served upon Ms. Hamilton. And I don't think there's a basis or it seems quite unfair to be punishing her by restricting her freedom for something that we haven't even looked at in this hearing.
Well, 902.15 contemplates something happening in the future. They're talking about her being a material witness in a trial that's going to take place in the future. It has nothing to do with what's taking place.
Yeah, I understand, Judge, but all they have to do is serve her with a proper subpoena right now. She is obligated then to appear or suffer the consequences for failure to appear. That's what I'm asking for. I'm asking just release.
I think they already tried it.
Well, no, they didn't.
And then there was a warrant.
Why do you think that, Judge? Because I don't see that they did try it that way.
Well, I don't know. This is the first time law enforcement agencies called me on a Sunday at my house to tell me that someone's at an international airport with an outstanding material witness warrant on them. But asked me what I would like them to do about it. And my answer was, I don't know anything about it, so I don't know what it is you would like me to do about it. I've been coming to work in this building every day for a long time. I've never seen this before.
Nor have I, and I've been doing this for 30 years. I've never seen this
But
before.
she does qualify under 902.15. So listen, at this point, it would be over your objection. And I'm not foreclosing you want to file the appropriate written motion, I'll give you the opportunity to have a hearing, an evidentiary hearing. You can present anything and everything to me that you would like. I'll give the state the same opportunity to present whatever evidence, witnesses, and testimony they want. And it could be that I might agree with you and decide that where a monitor is a unreasonable condition. But at this point, over your objection, I'm going to follow the state's recommendation. I'm going to ROR Ms. Hamilton, so she's not in custody, but she's going to have to sign up for pretrial. They're going to have to verify her address, and then they're going to put her on an electronic monitor. That's the only restriction. I'm not putting any other restrictions on it, but she's not charged with any independent crime. But if she's served with a subpoena, again, by any party, she just has to answer the subpoena, just like any other witness. What makes it unique here is that 902.15 allows this procedure only in a case of punishable by life or the death penalty, and that happens to be the case that we're involved in. I'm going to follow what the statute says. So, Ms. Wilcox, it's an ROR, standard pretrial with an open schedule. There are no other special conditions except to just check in with pretrial as they might require. I will waive the cost of the electronic monitor.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking, why are they about to make her pay for electronic monitoring when she's saying, I'll come to court? The judge just waived the cost because I don't know if y'all know, you have to, Marchie, gone. You have to pay for those ankle monitors. You have to pay for that. That's not something they do for free. So I'm happy he waived it, but he is releasing her ROR. She's not gonna have a bond or anything. He's releasing her from jail, but she does have to have the ankle monitor. He wants her to give him an accurate address so that she is properly served her subpoena when it's time for her to testify. And she needs to show up. He says she needs to show up just like any other person. So there's it. Wait a minute, why the chat going left? What happened? They're expensive. Yeah, Yates. I've heard that before.
Ms. Hamilton, you gotta show up, deposition or a hearing or a trial, whether that's the state or whether that's the defense. You just gotta answer this.
I get that, EBS.
As soon as this case is done, then this obligation under 902.15 will also be.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, can I take this opportunity to present information regarding that subpoena? The one I'm saying is
Well, you're
not
the lawyer,
valid
so
subpoena.
I can listen to argument from the lawyers, but what you're telling me is not evidence.
Well, I have a
I'm gonna
wit-
sit down an evidentiary hearing.
Well, I would actually like an evidentiary hearing in this.
So all you need to do is file a motion, tell me exactly what you're asking for, and exactly what the relief is, send a copy of it to the state, and then I set my own schedule. I'll reach out to you, and we'll get some dates.
Thank you.
Will allow you to have an evidentiary hearing, present whatever testimony you want. I'll give the state the same opportunity.
Thank you.
Ms. Butler, anything else you need me to do today?
No, Your Honor, I have an investigator on the way to serve Ms. Hamilton with the subpoenas that we intend on having her show up for, so that's it.
Counsel, again, I know some of your objections.
Don't be so big.
If we consider preserve and contemporaneously made, anything else I can do for you?
No, sir.
I
Thank
have so many
Ms.
notes.
Hamilton,
Curious.
he is going to get your address, because pre-trial needs to know. I'm not going to put your address out for public record right now. What city do you live in?
Vieira, Florida.
Vieira.
Yes.
I wonder how old she
So-
is. She's probably about 25. I wish I could take that call.
Judge, does Ms. Hamilton, she's free then at this point?
Well, I think the SO has to process her out. Someone from pre-trial is going to have to come talk to her. They get all of her information. They have to verify her address.
Okay,
Is
y'all.
it a house or an apartment?
A house.
Does someone else live there besides you?
Yes.
Someone that can verify the address there?
I live in my dad.
Okay, so as soon as they talk to her dad and they verify the address, they're going to put the ankle monitor and she'll be released.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, so, Mr. All right, Madam Clerk, that is.
So they had it. Can't believe this baby's in jail. A little shit. Jeez. Okay, y'all. That's it for this one. Now let's watch Miss Raven Liberty do her damn thing, okay? Let's watch Raven now. That's it for Mariah. Y'all see she got out of jail. Now let's turn on. This is Melly's hearing. Same day. we'll go
Okay, good.
we'll go to search warrant after this.
Okay, let me go back on the record. This is on top of my page 2, State versus Janelle Demings, 19-1872 CF10A. I've got Ms. Buckler, Ms. Collins, Mr. Griffiths present for the state. I've got Ms. Liberty, Mr. Adelstein, Mr. Aronson, Mr. Benjamin present for Mr. Demings, who likewise is present. Mr. Benjamin, we're not waiting for Mr. Patanza.
No, Your Honor, we're not.
Okay, so I had entered an order. Well, first I had ordered the state to turn over a copy of the search warrant that was in question regarding Ms. Liberty. They complied with that request and turned it over to me. I did review it in camera. I then entered an order overruling the state's motion for protective order and explaining that I was going to distribute unredacted copies of the search warrant today. I did delay that 10 days to give the state 10 days to file an appeal. If they so choose, they did not file an appeal, so I'm going to distribute the unredacted copy of the search warrant pursuant to my order. Mr. Court Deputy. Yes, sir. For the defense, there's one for each attorney. It's got their names on it. Mr. Benjamin, could I trouble you to collect Mr. Patanza's as well?
Oh, of course, Judge.
So that's all that I had on for today. I know in the interim, Mr. Adelstein filed a motion for an emergency hearing, so I'll consider that motion granted. There is a hearing. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll enter a written order accordingly. And I've now distributed it out. Mr. Demings has 2 future dates with me right now. All pending motions continue to be set on February the 18th at 9:30. And then his trial continues to be set September the 10th at 9 o'clock. So all of those dates will remain. Again, whatever motions either side wants me to hear, February 18th, I can give you the balance of the entire day. I just need you to notice in writing, so I know what motions are going forward. I don't know that I've seen any motions noticed up to this point. I did see a motion filed about redeposing or permission to depose a witness, but just notice it, just do a notice of hearing, whatever we can do, I'll do it on that.
Cool, me too, Ed.
So if I may inquire, I did send an email to your JA yesterday. The last time in January, we're supposed to be coming before the court for 2 days. I had a plethora of motions. Some of those motions were actually filed in the tampering case for reasons that they took the appeal on the homicide and hadn't taken the appeal on that tampering. They had made a big issue about them not being filed in the homicide. I think that's a little bit duplicative. So I made the suggestion yesterday that I just do a notice of hearing on the 2023 case number. But I wanted to know from the court what you advise, so we're not running into issues of not going forward because
They're not filed in 19-1872 CST.
no, but they are filed in the 2023 case, which, just so you know, they've incorporated the discovery of both of the cases. I could refile it under the homicide. It just
Yeah, in the abundance of caution, I would suggest you do that and then just, again, notice whatever ones you want me to hear on the 18th.
okay, fair enough. Thank you.
State, is there anything else that I can do for you this morning?
Judge, the only thing I was going to bring up, and I spoke with Mr. Edelstein about this, was the non-disclosure, the protective order. Prior to Your Honor issuing an order, I actually got a phone call from Mr. Edelstein saying that they agreed that it wouldn't be disclosed to anyone else.
Not anymore. So that's off the table. So I think it really, once I review it, it's up to me.
Well, I'm just gonna stick to the order that I entered on.
Be disclosed to anyone else.
Not anymore. So that's off the table. So
Okay.
I think it really, once I review it, it's up to me.
Well, I'm just gonna stick to the order that I entered on, I believe I entered it on January 14th.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
State, anything else? Anything else from the state?
Sorry, Your Honor?
Anything else from the
No,
state?
Your Honor.
Defense, anything else you'd like to?
Just so the court knows, we obviously have to review this and discuss, if possible, the potential conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to advise the court of that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I don't,
I think we should do it after this
Okay.
hearing. All good.
Defense, anything else I can do for any of you all this morning?
No, but I do apologize for being late. So you do put a lot of pressure on me because I think you're the only one in this room that remembers what I looked like in my 20s. So getting up every morning. Hard to have to be
Mr.
careful.
Anson, anything else?
Girl, sit down.
Anything else?
Just briefly. You know, I know Your Honor mentioned the last time
Look at Ray.
report
Hmm.
about the pendency of the trial
Got
date in
Ravy.
September, and urged us to understand that that's when this case was going to go and decisions needed to be made before that date. I wanted to bring to the court's attention that we've got a real problem here right now. We have a potential conflict that doesn't only affect Ms. Liberty with the allegation that came out not by the state, but by Apple sending her the subpoena, but also with the communications and the interaction that the rest of us have had with Ms. Liberty in representing Mr. Devins. So as we sat here trying to digest what Your Honor had told us the last time we were here, that we better get these motions filed, there's a motion cutoff date to set them all. We don't know what the conflict is and how that may affect our ongoing representation of Mr. Devins, the rest of us. So we have found that we cannot comply with the order of the court to when the filing of those motions and the hearing of those motions until we know, because something has happened that we've been made aware of that we still don't know. I didn't get a chance to read the whole warrant, but it seems to me that the affidavit isn't attached.
No, it's not the affidavit, it's just the warrant.
Well, I think the warrant says it incorporates the affidavit. So
I'll repeat the discussion we have, of course, sir. If you want to give me some authority and file a motion that says I have the ability to turn over the affidavit to you, I'm happy to listen to anything anyone wants to tell me. I think what I made the state turn over their objection is the limit of what I'm permitted to do at this point. I believe one of your co-counsel there cited the United States Constitution, but I would need something a little more specific than that, like a case law, a rule of criminal procedure, or a statute. And I'm happy to give you a hearing on any written motion regarding that. But this issue, and I agree with you, it's a very important issue, but this is an investigation that you all have to conduct and a discussion that you all have to have with your client. I don't have anything to do with it.
And of course, we have no ability to investigate secret doings of the state attorney and BSO that we don't have the right to see. So I just wanted to bring to Your Honor's attention that it's somewhat of a dilemma here, and that we'll file what we can and see what we can get. But right now, we're at a real loss to be able to represent Mr. Demmings the way he needs to be represented.
I agree.
So Judge, if I may add on to that just briefly, essentially because the one portion of this case that I took on and actually have been, lots of money was put into training me on this very issue of these phones, right? So I know what they would have got off of this iCloud. They would have got information regarding my emails. I'm assuming there's further emails, warrants to my email accounts. I am concerned, says that there's communications between my experts. Almost all my communications are on my emails with my experts, motions, depositions.
Yeah, I think that's Raven Liberty talking. I think this is Raven talking that we're hearing now. And I just can't believe that little voice is coming out of Raven's mouth. But that's Raven talking. She's in front of the judge now. And she is absolutely right. She is absolutely right. They what's the word? They issued a search warrant on her Apple iCloud. They know everything. They've had it for a year. She's so right. Like, and you don't know. We will go through the search warrant. We'll go through Raven's. She actually did submit a motion to the judge too. We'll go through that too. But she's right.
To other cases. So there will be further inquiry to that. And I think we're granted to that. But looking at the court's own order, you had, and I forget the name of the case, but the basis was saying that it's been, 14, 15 months at this point. There's no imminent arrest. So I read it as you're finding that there is no criminal investigation. And that was the basis of not letting us have the affidavit. The initial time was.
That's not correct. If this was the statute, the state would have been right. I just found that the state hasn't done anything, and based on the particular procedural posture of this case, whatever it is that they got as a result of this, they got it over a year ago. So if they wanted to charge you with something or arrest you, they've had a year to do that. I'm not going to sit around and wait for them to make that decision. They obviously haven't made the decision. The statute says if there was an ongoing case, you wouldn't be entitled to any of it.
Okay, fair enough, Judge.
So I'm just complying with what the statute says.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Sure.
When we were here the first time on the case, I'm the one that brought it forward, the motion, and you asked me what my authority was. I had cited to the court the case of Rutledge versus State, 150 Southern 3rd, 830, 2014. You asked me what my specific authority was, and I said the 6th Amendment and the 14th Amendment. I'd like to read from Rutledge, if I might. At the risk of being redundant, we once again emphatically state that when a pretrial disclosure of possible conflict of interest is raised, the trial court must either conduct an inquiry to determine whether the asserted conflict of interest will impair the defendant's Sixth Amendment right or appoint separate counsel. So with all due respect to this court, Your Honor, that's your job, is to find out whether or not there is a conflict and for you to help in the investigation. We don't have the power. Without the court's help, we'll never know if there's a conflict until possibly it's too late. So you are the person that is supposed to look into the matter for us.
I don't agree with you at all, sir. Your case says.
I'm going to say this. Why the hell is the judge like shying away from this? Now I do respect law. I do understand he wants cases, but damn, the Constitution is not good enough. Jazz, I just Googled it and saw that what do you mean this is not my job? How can they investigate whether the state what the state did during their investigation without the help of the judge? How does this work? The judge doesn't want to decide anything if it's not on behalf of the prosecution. I don't know what this judge is doing, but I do think they need help right now. This is serious. They're accusing an attorney of witness tampering. They have subpoenaed her iCloud. They've got all of her personal information. This boy needs to make a decision, but it needs to be an informed decision. They need the help. They need the judge to help. And he comes to talking about, this not my job. Huh? Come on now. And let's see what he's saying. And I respect him. He said, respectfully, it is your job. He just read it. You sure? You're right about that, Key.
Mr. Demons is entitled to be told that there's an ongoing investigation. There is an ongoing investigation, and I told him that the last time I had a discussion with him directly. After that, Figueroa Santa Bria completely controls. This is a death penalty case. He's a death penalty defendant. It's his decision.
Yes, but it says here, the trial court must either conduct an inquiry to determine whether the asserted conflict of interest will impair the defendant's Sixth Amendment right or appoint separate counsel.
So that's Mr. Demons' decision. And the last time you all got almost hysterical, but you didn't even want me to talk to him about it. You want me to talk to him about it today?
But you have not conducted any inquiry with all due respect.
The inquiry is with your client, sir.
No.
It's not my job to investigate.
The trial court must either conduct an inquiry.
Yeah, that's with Mr. Demons. That's the inquiry.
Well,
I can tell him there's a conflict. There's a conflict, all right? The same law enforcement agency the same state attorney's office that's trying to impose the death penalty on him is conducting a criminal investigation against one of his lawyers. So I can save you all that trouble. There obviously is a conflict. Whether Mr. Demons wants Ms. Liberty to continue or all of you to continue, that's his decision, but there's nothing else I can do about it. You all conduct whatever investigation you want. What did you want me to do, Mr. Anderson? You want to start deposing witnesses?
Deposing witnesses, have inquired.
You want me to start deposing witnesses?
I want you to inquire of the state what evidence that they have of a conflict, so we know, in fact, that there's a conflict or not.
The state says there's a conflict too.
They say my client's guilty, but he's entitled to a trial first.
They filed a motion that said I'm supposed to remove her. They think I get to decide who's Mr. Demons' lawyer is, not Mr. Demons. I couldn't agree with that. I couldn't disagree with that more. It's his decision.
I believe, as the court, you have the obligation to ferret out what the conflict is so that we can make an informed decision. Right now, we can make no decision. Right now, we can file no motions because we don't know whether we're subject to the conflict at all. Right now, our hands are tied. It's up to the court. You're the gatekeeper for all. I'm imploring the court to find out what the nature of the conflict is so that we can advise our client. Right now, you're just saying to our client, hey, the state says there's a conflict, so you could get rid of your lawyer or keep your lawyer. That's not enough. That's not a Sixth Amendment protections. You want him to make a decision in a vacuum. This is a murder case.
Sir, with all due respect, this isn't a vacuum. He can sit down with Miss Liberty, and you can sit down with Miss Liberty. She's well aware who she's emailed. She's well aware who she's called. She's well aware what's on these records. So talk to your, it's incumbent on you all to fully inform your client.
So, okay. What do you guys think this attorney is asking the judge? Let me see where you guys are. Because, well, here's the thing, guys, because I see y'all with the judge. I don't know, y'all. I think what the judge is saying is the conflict. Raven knows who she's spoken to, who she's emailed. Raven knows. So if you want to iron out the conflict, she's the person to talk to. But this lawyer wants to see, well, what did they see as potential conflict? I think I agree with the judge. The conflict tell us what they got, right, Lex? I think the judge is saying, listen, the conflict is that the same people that are trying to kill him, if he's convicted, are the same people trying to arrest Raven. That is the conflict. I think that's what the judge is saying. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't want to get into specifics or anything. That is the conflict. That's it. The defense, they want specifics. Outside of them trying to bring this case, they want to know what the hell they've been looking at. I think that's, me too, Ash. I think that's what it boils down to. What the hell did they see? But Mel is hundreds of emails. She don't know what they see. Right, Key, I see both sides. The state is trying to say, the defense wants the specific conflict, right? They really just want to know what the prosecution saw, and I get that. However, the judge is saying, I don't need to know specifics. The conflict, in my eyes, is that the state is trying to prosecute her and Melly. That's enough conflict for me. They're saying, the defense is saying conflict, but what they really want to know is what the hell did they see? Yes, they want to know what the hell did they see? Yes, Lex, which one? I think the judge should make both sides argue and then make a decision. Ash, what would they be arguing? They're mad about Danny Polo. They need to be mad at his wife for having his picture out there like that. Or is that they just want her off the case? Ash, they want her off the case, period. Any way that I can cripple this young man's defense, I want to do that. They just want her off the case. And I think this is why the defense wants to specifically know, what do you got? What do you have? What is it? And the judge is just like, this is enough for me. Should he keep Raven? Okay, y'all, Lex wants to do a quick poll. If Melly should keep Raven, hell yeah, she been on that trial from the start. It's a 1 for me, 1 for yes, 2 for no. Should he keep Raven? It's a 1 for me. She's been on this trial the longest. I know she knows this trial like the back of her hand. Alice, she always making faces. Hey, Delta. Okay, I see a lot of 1s for yes. See a lot of 1s. I love when we do a quick poll. See who I was in the chat listening. The state is clearly scared of her. I can see that. I've been thrown out if I'm understanding the arguments. Okay, you can't win playing dirty. I agree. They just want him to get rid of her without knowing the facts. I can see that too. And I think that's what the defense, I think they're saying conflict, but I think the defense wants to know, why the hell do y'all think she's a conflict? Why should we get rid of her? The judge is very surface level, right? The defense trying to get deep with it. They need to know. So bad, all the reason I keep her. I see that. Hey, Derry, I can understand that. It's the reason why they want her off. I think she is a steal and they can't F for her. You probably right. Because they want her off.
That's not my job. That's your job.
Well,
So tell him what's on there and then tell him what the conflict is, and he makes a decision. I had this discussion with Mr. Devon. The conflict is, at some point in the proceedings, is Miss Liberty going to make a decision that's not in Mr. Demon's best interest, but it's in her best interest? Okay? You all know what you're doing. I'm not going to do your job. You have to do your job.
No job, Judge. With all due respect, I want you to do your job.
Ooh!
And I don't believe the court is. I think the court is shirking its responsibility.
I disagree with you, sir, but you can file whatever appropriate written motion you want. I'll give you a hearing on it, and you can seek appellate authority to a higher court.
Where the damn lawyers at? Where are the lawyers in the chat? Because damn it, I need a lawyer right now. I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer right now because I really need to understand this. And I need someone to kind of break this. I see both sides. Y'all know I hate. Y'all know I hate when I say 1 or 2 and somebody come up with a 3. 3 was not an option. 3 was not an option. I need a lawyer in the chat. Y'all pay somebody get in this chat. I have a question. They may not be in here right now. If y'all see a lawyer come in, make sure we ask them this question because I need to kind of whose responsibility is it? Was the Constitution enough? Was the Constitution enough? Adventure Yates, somebody, we need some help. That's it, call Paige.
I think I've done something wrong.
Thank you.
Will the court at least inquire from the state if the investigation is still ongoing as we sit here
It
today?
is ongoing. They told you that the last time.
It's still,
We said that last time, yeah.
it's still ongoing.
It's still ongoing.
Yes.
And have there been other search warrants and affidavits?
I have no idea, sir, but this is a discussion that you all need to have. I don't have anything to do with it.
We can't discuss if we
Well,
don't
you're right
know
there.
the nature of the conflict that they're alleging, other than she's under investigation. That doesn't cut it, Judge.
They said, hold on, sir. Again, with all due respect, they told you the last time, on the record, it was regarding this case, because I asked them. I said, are you investigating Ms. Liberty regarding alleged criminal conduct that has to do with this case, that has to do with Mr. Demings? And they said, yes. So that's what it's about.
Well, then under discovery, for Mr. Demings, they're required to give us that information. Anything.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, this the type of lawyer right here. When the lawyer's going back and forth, it gets me excited because I mean, although I see what the judge is saying, I understand the defense. How the hell do we know we need to let her go? What if we look at what the state has and we say, oh, this is BS. This is BS. Come on, Raven, you stay on. I get it. I get it. I get that. I get that. I get that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back onto the defensive side. Makes me believe Raven got some information on this case and the state's attorney's office, which is why they want to silence her. Y'all, I just, this is booty. This gets me excited because he is right. You want us to just go and fire her? What if it's some bunch of BS that they have? He's making a great point. And I need the judge to do something now. Like they can't lie. They've already lied. Lex, say that. Okay, y'all.
Anything that is relevant to the guilt or innocence.
Of Mr. Demings.
Yeah, well,
I agree with you.
okay. And if it's related to the murder case and the tampering case under 3.220, they gotta give us that information.
File a motion to compel.
Okay.
3.220.
We want,
With particularity, tell the state, this is what I want. Either they're gonna give it to you or not, and if they don't, set it for a hearing
yes, sir.
on any available date. I'm imploring you all to set these for hearings. That's why it's giving you dates for all pending motions.
The difficulty is, Your Honor, that since we're on notice of a conflict, a potential conflict, technically, we should not be filing any additional motions until that issue is resolved. I think we're bound by the Florida rule.
Woo! I'm sorry, y'all. I know I get. Baby, that lawyer just said, I hear you, Judge. And I hear you telling me to file all of these motions. You know, I hear you. You want to do hearings. But he said, technically, the moment we were put on notice that a conflict was in there was a conflict in this case, we're not even supposed to be doing all that. Key, he's my favorite. He's my favorite. He said, we're not even, let me rewind it for y'all. I need y'all gonna have to hear that again. Okay, I got y'all. I'm gonna start it right here. Let's start it when he talks. I'm gonna let him play.
Then other search warrants and affidavits?
I have no idea, sir, but this is a discussion that you all need to have. I don't have anything to do with this.
We can't discuss if we don't know the nature of the conflict that they're alleging, other than she's under investigation. That doesn't cut it, Judge.
They said, hold on, sir. Again, with all due respect, they told you the last time, on the record, it was regarding this case, because I asked them. I said, are you investigating Ms. Liberty regarding alleged criminal conduct that has to do with this case, that has to do with Mr. Demings? And they said, yes. So that's what it's about.
Well, then under discovery, for Mr. Demings, they're required to give us that information. Anything that is relevant to the guilt or innocence.
Of Mr. Demings?
Yeah, well,
I agree with you.
okay. And if it's related to the murder case and the tampering case, under 3.220, they gotta give us that information.
File a motion to compel under 3.220.
Okay. We want
With particularity, tell the state, this is what I want. Either they're gonna give it to you or not, and if they don't, set it for a hearing
Yes, sir.
on any available date. I'm imploring you all to set these for hearings. That's why it's giving you dates for all pending motions.
The difficulty is, Your Honor, that since we're on notice of a conflict, a potential conflict, technically, we should not be filing any additional motions until that issue is resolved. I think we're bound by the Florida rules of ethics.
Okay. Anything else from the defense today?
No, sir.
Okay. So, I'll see you all February 18th
Not the judge act like he didn't hear him say that.
at 9:30. Again, whatever motions you want. So, I'll see you all February 18th at 9:30. Again, whatever motions you want to hear are filed in writing and notice. And then Ms. Collinston, did I give like a 5-day
You did,
cutoff on the notice?
today was the deadline, today by 5.
No one's
Notice
filed
of hearing
anything.
had to be filed by, yes.
All right, you want to extend that? Do you have any objection if we do that to like next Friday?
Well, no, Judge, we wanted the notice of hearing by end of today so that we had time to respond to anything that hadn't been responded to this statute, so.
All right, well, I mean, I can't make you all get along with each other.
They have till 5, so I still can.
I think Mr. Davidson's telling me there's new motions that he wants to file. I think Mr. Benjamin's telling me there's new motions that he wants to file, so.
We can address it after the 18th.
Yeah, I mean, the discovery cutoff is not till April 30th, so.
Okay. See y'all February the 18th at 9:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, one more thing. defense.
I'm sorry. Can I have appearances for the
Yeah, State, you start first.
A, Alexandra Buckland.
Taylor Collins.
J.D. Benjamin.
Daniel Harris.
Raven Liberty.
Stuart House.
Thank you. The judge, I was talking, what were they saying about a cutoff at 5 as motions?
We discussed that January the 6th, that anything that you want me to hear on February the 18th, you got to notice it. And by the end of business today was the deadline to file the notice of hearing.
All right, no problem. I have all of that ready. I wanted to know that one question from you and I'm ready to go.
Teenage girl.
Defense, let me, Mr. A.
Like a teenage girl is stuck in Raven's body, almost like Freaky Friday. Like this is really funny.
So, you know, whoever else wants to answer this, at 1:30 this afternoon, I have to deal with Mariah Hamilton. I have some motions on her behalf, and so she's going to be present. I think your client's entitled to be present if he wants to be, but if he doesn't want to be, he certainly doesn't have to.
If he wants to be present.
Oh, I'll be here, Your Honor.
At 1:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so otherwise then be in recess until 1:30. Be in recess until.
We'll see you in Monday.
You're the one that can ask.
Keep on that, baby.
What do you guys think? Hold on. What did you guys think about? Let's take another poll. In terms of the defense and the state and their argument in regards to really giving some clarifying, specific information about this potential conflict. Are you on the defense side or the state side? I'm team defense. I'm team defense. understand why would she make that face. Mayor, wait a minute. Hold on now. Let me pull it back up. Y'all said Raven acting up. Let me go to my history and pull her back up. That did it for me. Rocky pissed me off today, but baby, that hearing did it for me. Let me see what y'all saying. Team defense. Okay. Let me see what y'all talking about with Raven, child. Raven and Melly be having some weird things going on over there. I don't know what they have.
He doesn't want to be, he certainly doesn't have to.
I
He
want-
wants to be present.
Oh, I'll be here, Your Honor.
And let me just say this. Let me just say this. Y'all see how Melly speaks through his attorney? He's not speaking loud, making outbursts. He's telling Raven, I want to be there. Just enough for her to hear. And then Raven tells the judge that he wants to be there. Oh, okay. But he is from the South. He is from the South. So, you know, it could be that. It could be that. It could be the fact that he's from the South. Joe, I don't even know if Melly has grills in anymore. I think it's just his teeth, and his teeth are big. But his mom has pretty big teeth too, so it might just be a family thing. I hadn't seen it before, Jaleesa. Look at Jasper. New York, they different, I guess. We don't do that in the South. I just like to point out things when I see them. You know, because sometimes, y'all know sometimes y'all like to tussle with me in these comments. I just thought I'd point something out I was seeing.
1:30. Thank you.
No shade.
Okay, so otherwise then be in recess until 1:30. Be in recess until. We'll see you in 1:30.
They in there, Joe.
Keep calling that, baby.
How'd you mount? See you later.
What y'all want me to see? Okay. I don't know what y'all wanted me to see, but I'm happy we watched that, guys. But let's go through. I just get excited. Let's go. Barty, stop, please. Let's go through the hearing. I know y'all probably can't see this. I'm gonna make it full screen layout. I'm sorry. So I don't even know how I could have made that bigger. I don't know if let me see if I open it and then share my screen. Barty, please stop. Let me try to open it and then share my screen, y'all. Barty, please stop. None, can you leave her alone? Let me try to do that, y'all, because that's way too like Liberty 2. I'm gonna see if I can do this. But Raven's motion, it made a lot of sense to me. All right, let's see if I can share my screen with you guys. And this will be so much better than what y'all are seeing on the screen, because you can't even see that. No, let's do my PDF. Yeah, it's only letting me do it this way. It's not even doing it for me. I want to share that screen. It's not letting me do it. Zoom in, guys. Zoom in. One day I'm gonna figure all of this out. So I have it on the screen so you can see. Now, this is Raven's motion to the judge. And what she's asking the judge to do, she wants the judge to make Christine Bradley testify. Like, I need to question her. Y'all see they turned over the subpoena today. Okay, let's get to it. I can't even see this to read it to y'all. Y'all gotta pull it up. I have to put this is just terrible. I'm gonna work on this. Okay. This her renewed motion to take the deposition of Christine Bradley. This is filed by Raven Liberty. So I'm not gonna read the top. Y'all know it's about Jamel Demons. It's all about his case. Now, she says on or about October 3rd, 2023. Detective Garrett Steele executed a probable cause affidavit. Now, remember, guys, this is the affidavit. Hold on, let me get to my screen. This is the affidavit that they will not turn over. I'm reading it, guys. I'm reading it, y'all. Let me take it off the screen. I'm reading it. This is the affidavit. They will not turn this affidavit over. This is the problem. This is what the defense wants. Raven says the state of Florida, hereinafter referred to as SOF, they were ordered to provide certain emails on or around late December in 2023 in lieu of taking the deposition of ASA Christine Bradley. And then she put a copy of the order in here. Now, the state of Florida, they complied with the court order, providing a plethora of emails by and between the defense counsel and Christine Bradley. However, none of these emails show that Christine Bradley either coordinated or notified Mariah Hamilton's attorney of the deposition dates prior to the deposition being scheduled. Why are we talking about Mariah Hamilton? Why are we back on? God damn it, I keep hitting the wrong thing. Why are we back on Mariah? We're back on Mariah because remember, Mariah is the witness the state is alleging has been tampered with. That's it. She needs to testify to you. So that's the first page. Now, despite the probable cause affidavit stated on April 18, 2023, emails were exchanged by the defense counsel and ASA Bradley about scheduling the deposition of Mariah Hamilton. Y'all, only one email was provided, which was authored by ASA Christine Bradley and sent solely to the defense counsel Stewart. In this email, y'all, she just says, hey, so we will have an answer tomorrow on what dates are available. She sent it from her phone. They're trying to depose Mariah, right? And what's her name? Not ASA Bradley, but Raven Liberty she's sending this motion because remember, they're saying she tampered with Mariah. So the state of Florida, they didn't provide an email dated April 19, 2023. Rather, okay, let me let y'all hear that. I need y'all to hear what she's saying. Listen, I said that. Now, Bryson Boone Paul put some up, Key, but I have to email them to myself, and I'm going to have to figure out a way to make them bigger. That's the problem. I don't know how to do that. Here's the problem, everybody. The problem that, I don't know, let me read it again for you guys. They sent an email on April 18th, 2023. Now, they didn't provide an email that the defense sent to the state that was sent on April 19th, 2023. They skipped that email and immediately they only went to the email sent April 28th, 2023. Do y'all see the problem there? Let me see. Hold up, y'all. I want to know, do y'all see the problem? There's the email. Damn it. Wait a minute. No, that's a new layout. That's my having issues. I am. I want to zoom in. Let me see if they make this. No, I don't want it that way. It's just not, it's not letting me zoom, guys. I wish I could. If y'all can zoom in on your phones, though, you can see this. Check out the email. I'll leave it up there, even though y'all may not see it. Just zoom in. You can see it. You can see it. It's not letting me zoom for y'all. And if I shift, I don't want to hang up here. I don't want to do that out here. But do you guys get what she's trying to say here? She's saying that she misrepresented information. Hold up, y'all. Okay, let me see. You know I got a MacBook, so it's not even doing that. Let me see. This is bigger for me. Is it bigger for y'all? I just hit the chat. Let me get out of there. That didn't help. But just zoom in, y'all. I've seen it on YouTube. Just zoom in. I did. It's a PDF. Yeah, I exported it as a PDF. It's just not zooming in. Just zoom in on your phones. It'll work. Look at the dates on the email. The email was sent April 18th. The defense is saying we responded April 19th. But instead of ASA Bradley putting that in their search warrant, this all goes back to Mariah Hamilton. They immediately went to another email, April 28th. They went to April 28th. Oh, yeah, you can pull it up on X2 Bryson Boom Paul. But they went to April 28th. So they're misrepresenting information. She says from the emails provided, it doesn't appear the defense counsel responded to Bradley until May 2nd, based on the emails that were provided. Now, she says that on the April 28th email, Ms. Hamilton's attorney just called and asked if there was a way we could do the deposition on May 15th instead. She said, I will rearrange my schedule to accommodate it if that works. It looks like the defense just wasn't responding. Hold up, y'all. It's not making it bigger for y'all. It made my screen bigger. So, Lord, this looks like Ray J's text. I gotta fix this back. Hold up, y'all. Because now I look like Ray J. Y'all remember his phone was so big? That's what it looked like for me just now. Okay, I fixed it. So, yeah. Mel talking about look like we can see it. Y'all, if y'all want to read along, if you have X, just go to Bryson Boom Paul's page. And they're on there. They are on there. I'll figure this out at some point. They're on there though. I'm not hearing witness tampering. Well, Keisha, ASA Bradley, if you can't already tell, ASA Bradley misrepresented information in her search warrant. In her affidavit to secure that search warrant, she misrepresented things. And Raven is saying this is one of the things. If you look at the trail from the emails provided by ASA Bradley, it looks like the defense was just not trying to make this happen. And that's not true. That's not true. That is not true. That's not true. The state of Florida provided additional emails to Mr. This is Mariah's lawyer, stating that ASA Bradley had called, emailed, and texted him to no avail. However, in reviewing the emails provided by the state, it appears that only one attempt to contact her attorney was made, which was May 2nd. Is this far-fetched? Is this far-fetched? Oh, hold on, y'all. Yates right here. Yates says she just got a TikTok message. We had a question for you, Yates. We have a question because you stepped to the front for us. We have a question for you. Ash said that was me. Hold on, let me move all this stuff out of my way so I can see when you come up. We have a question. We just got done watching Melly's hearing, and we're trying to make some sense of something. Hey, May.
Hello, what is going on?
Quick question. So we were watching the Melly hearing, and in the
Mhm.
hearing, I don't know if you're aware, his attorney's under investigation. Do you know that?
Raven Liberty?
Raven's under
Mhm.
investigation, and the defense counsel is telling the judge that they cannot make a decision on if there is truly a conflict without having more information from the state. And they were
Mhm.
citing they cited the 6th and 14th Amendment, and they said, like, if the evidence they have on Raven, if it has anything to do with the murder trial, the tampering trial, they
Mhm.
should know what information they have. The judge was kind of like, well, the conflict is there. The same people that are trying to prosecute Melly are also, they may
Mhm.
also bring up charges for her. That's enough conflict. You don't need to know anymore. And the lawyers were like, no, we absolutely need to know more. It sounds like to me they want to know what evidence they are using to say that a conflict exists, being that they submitted a motion and they're saying she needs to leave. So what we're trying to see is who was right and who was wrong in the argument.
I think the state's fucked up for not giving over what they have.
Okay.
But conflicts are so tricky because you get into ethical issues. I I think since there would even be, and again, this is not legal advice, I'm no one's attorney. This is just my opinion.
I love it.
I think because you don't ever even want like the look of impropriety. You don't
Mm-hmm.
even want there to be an issue with that. And I think ultimately for the future of YNW Melly, I think if she doesn't conflict off, I think it would hurt him in the long run.
So listen, the judge said something that made me go, He said, how do we know that every decision she makes will be in his best interest and not hers?
And not her own. And
And
that's
not
where
hers.
even if in her mind she was making every decision that she thought was in his best interest, what about the unconscious decisions that she makes? What about every little strategic thing? And that's where the look of impropriety, even if she's like, I didn't do anything that was against his best interest.
Well,
If
here's the thing.
someone even
Ash
thinks
just
that
said
she
this.
might have,
Ash just said, and does the judge? So this is the defense is asking the judge to step in and help them. Basically, like, you need to question them. We need to know what they have. What conflict do they see? And the judge said, that's not my job. That's y'all
it's
job. He
not.
said, that's not my job. It's not his job.
Because they were given the search warrant, weren't they?
They were given the search warrant, but see, they said that's not enough. They don't have the affidavit. They don't know what
And they should
exactly
get the
they have.
affidavit. I will say that I would also want the affidavit. I will say that.
Okay. Do you think, okay, great question. I'm glad you said that. Do you think the affidavit is an absolute necessity before he says, do I want Raven on or not? I think they need to see the affidavit. What lies did they tell?
So I think for her, I don't think Melly should even have to make the decision. I think she should. I
You
think
think she needs to just say, you know what? I'm gonna step
in your
off.
best interest, I've got to come off.
But do you, okay, here's my other question though. I agree with the defense because what if they turn over all what if they turn over the evidence and it's nothing? And this is simply a ploy to get her off the case.
I think at that point, if it was all complete lies, I think there would be further issues down the road.
Because listen,
Now
we're
again,
reading.
that's not saying that I'm not saying that they would necessarily that they have to charge her to make like for that to be the case, but I think that there are some times as an attorney where you've got to make that decision. And it sucks. It is there are cases that I've wanted to stay on through and through that the client wanted me to stay on. But there was a conflict that ethically I couldn't. Whether I wanted to or not, I couldn't. And it's not that I didn't want to stay on the,
I hear you.
it sucks. It is a shitty situation that she is put in. It's a shitty situation that he is put in. And I hate that either one of them even have to make the decision. And I think that because there are certain situations where conflicts can't be waived.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are certain times where a client, even if there's a conflict, can waive that. They can waive that conflict, and it just has to be in writing. But they can say, "I know there's a conflict, but I'm cool with it." But there are some situations where the client can't even say, "I'm fine with it."
Lex says, "Do you think she should stay?"
Do I want her to stay? Yes. Do I think that she should? I lean towards no. Do I say that's my ultimate decision, not knowing everything that they know? Bless you.
Thank you.
I lean towards no, but I can't make a definitive answer just because I don't know everything that they do. But I will say it is a horrible situation to be in. I would absolutely not want to be in that position.
May, listen, so we're reading this affidavit, and what Raven is saying so far is Christine she's already found a misrepresentation, especially when it came to
Who's Christine?
Christine is the old ASA.
Okay.
Yeah. She's already found that Christine has doctored emails, not doctored them, but presented these emails in a way that looked as if people weren't in communication with Bradley or weren't in communication with the defense when it isn't true. So we don't see the affidavit, but I would imagine that this affidavit would be filled with stuff that she left out, like the two, and we'll get to it, but the two detectives. One person is saying, well, I just relied on information person A said. Person A is saying, I relied on information person B said. Which one is it?
And that's why sorry, my nose is very dry. I need moisturizer. And that's why we take the oaths that we do as attorneys. Because there are like when you say stuff to the court, I mean, I don't know. You say stuff and it's believed. Because we take oaths, and there's just things that, do I think that it would be better if the state was fully above board and would just turn over what they have? 1,000%. And that's where, when I talk about like the look of impropriety, that's where you get the look of, this is personal and this seems a little vindictive, and that's where you get, even if it's not true, that's where you start to get those impressions of the state.
Yeah, because when I read this motion, I was like, I don't know if I will believe. I don't think they obtained this search warrant truthfully. Like you bent things to make the story that you wanted to tell, and I don't think that's right.
Well, and that's the thing is, sorry, if it's found out that they got the search warrant based off of
false pretenses, is what I was trying to say.
False information in an affidavit, that's a problem. But if I just think the state should maybe this is the defense attorney in me, I think the state should turn over what they have.
I agree.
And
I agree.
The affidavit at this point, you use that to get the search warrant. If they can have the search warrant, why can't they have the affidavit that got the search warrant?
Why the hell won't the judge make them turn over the affidavit? Now that's what I just don't understand there.
He already made him turn over the search warrant.
He said they're asking him to do more than he can. If they find some type of legal basis that forces them to turn over the affidavit, he said do a motion.
Because
I'm willing to hear it.
Because I don't, and again, I don't know Florida law, because Florida is its own world.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'd be able to get it right now. I don't. And again, that may be a question that Arian, who practices in Florida, but I don't practice in Florida, so I don't know. But that may be a question to ask Arian.
I'm a text her.
Because she may know because she practices there. I don't know how they would get it. Because I don't really see a reason that the search warrant I understand. But I don't know. That's again, it's a shitty situation.
Okay, that's what we need.
Okay. I'm just saying Florida is its own world. That is weird shit happens in Florida. You can't deny that, okay? You can't.
They can't look up the affidavit. No, they can't. Can't just go look it up.
They wouldn't have been able to look up the search warrant either. If it was filed, it was done under seal, I'm sure.
Yep. Dang. Okay. That's what we wanted. We are on here like, oh my God, can we get a lawyer in here, please? We need to ask this question. We need to understand the judge's stance on it, the defense's stance, and which one's right, which one's wrong. Now, he did say he was open to hearings. Like he's open to motions being filed. And if you show me where I'm supposed to do it, he said I'm going to do it because it was crazy. The defense lawyers told the judge respectfully, you need to do your job. It was it was good. Yeah, they can't look it up.
I don't like that the state has known about all of this for over a year and let her stay on the case.
And now all of a sudden she needs to be off. That's
now when it's set for trial and this close to trial. That's my biggest issue with it. Because if you would have said a year ago, so it would have given him ample time to find another person to work on the case and to get caught up, I would have had a much better feeling about this. But the fact that you waited this long, it's set for trial, and now they've got what, 5 months?
Yep. And now you're saying this.
And that's where
what changed.
That doesn't give someone, unless this is the only case that they're working on, which isn't possible for most, that's not enough time to get up to speed with a case that this is the second trial that's happening for it.
I agree. Erica said, let me go home and look up case law. I really wanted, I said the same thing. Why is it that all of a sudden Raven is so bad she needs to leave when you've known for a year? And then for them to say the investigation is ongoing.
Mm-hmm. And the state tends to like to say, well, we're thinking about the defendant's best interest. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You can say that all you want. Now, sometimes they're thinking about on appeal. I don't want this to be an issue on appeal, but you're not thinking about the defendant's best interest.
Removing his attorney. I don't agree. And his life is literally hanging in the balance. Of course. Right, Ash?
Yeah, technically, if Apple didn't tell her, she wouldn't have known. And that's the thing is, would the state have come forward and said, I think you need to come off this case, had the defense not found out, or would they have let her go through the entire trial not knowing that she was under investigation?
They would have. They absolutely would have.
To me, that's a problem, is you didn't care when she didn't know that she was under investigation because you want as much information as you can get. But
how is that okay, May? How is that okay that they are possibly looking at her strategy, her personal emails. Like, that seems like they're cheating.
Well, and that's where that will eventually, and I hate that this is how everything works, that will eventually come out. Because if they use stuff like that in an investigation, but again, that unfortunately wouldn't come out until later than this trial. Again, I do not agree with it at all. I think the state is playing a very messy game.
Erica, it just has the search warrant, not the actual affidavit.
Yeah, they've got the exact search warrant that was turned over to the defense.
That right there is it's I don't know how to feel about it, especially when you read this affidavit and this motion, and she's just basically saying, I need to talk to ASA Bradley because I need to ask her some questions. I need to understand what she put into this affidavit. What information was she using? Because it goes into her personal messages. And they're saying the only person who can tell us what was in her cell phone and personal messages and emails is her. I can't speak to someone else. I can only speak to her.
Mm-hmm.
He and everywhere, Erica.
I mean, it's because if it comes out that they used anything confidential, again, that would be an issue on appeal.
Well, Shay, the search warrant tells exactly what they took from her.
Because you have to particularize your search warrants of what you're looking for. You don't typically just get a catch-all search warrant that gets everything. You typically have to ask for certain things.
Because it's not showing on my screen big, y'all, they asked for her iOS device activation data, her connection logs. They want to know where her phone connected to, her location information, her health data, her fitness data, her device analytics, her purchase history. They asked for the device registration information, including but not limited to the customer information, names, addresses, email addresses, and telephone numbers, date of registration, her purchase date, her device date, including they want her IMEI or her ESN. They asked for her Apple ID and any related account details, including email addresses, account status, age, associated device information, her serial number, and her browser type. They want any Apple-based and third-party applications that she has downloaded. They'd like Apple Media Services, her purchases, download transactions and connections, update and re-downloaded connections, IP address information, Apple customer information and connection logs with different IP addresses, her Apple Media Service purchase and download transactional records, and the records of any specific content purchased and downloaded. For her iCloud data, it is not limited to subscriber information, including but not limited to the basic subscriber information, such as names, physical addresses, email addresses, telephone numbers, and information regarding her iCloud connections. They want her mail logs, including but not limited to records of incoming and outgoing communications, such as times, dates, the sender email addresses, and the recipient email addresses. That's not it.
Okay, so not the content, just the sender, receiver, time, and date. Okay.
Oh no, friend, that's not it.
Okay.
That's not it. They also want the contents of any attachments of all electronic mail. including embedded images, iMessages, instant message logs, or communications contained in the above listed iCloud account. Any related accounts concerning the same subscriber, including header information, the originating IP logs, and attachments for each message contained in the account. At this point, the social security number is minor. They also would like all electronic communications. Should they include it? Yeah, this is crazy. Her drafts, her sent messages, her drafts, her sent messages.
If my drafts ever got, what the fuck?
Her opened and unopened messages. Her read and unread, just in case y'all confused about open and unopened, I'm gonna say read and unread too. And or forwarded. Y'all, they are starting. Guess where they starting from, y'all? They are starting from February 13th, 2019 to present. They want her Safari key. Apparently, they saved that. They want her Safari browsing history, photo stream
Browsing
data,
history.
her photo stream data, including videos and other media, her iCloud photo library, including videos and other media, her iCloud drive, her contacts, her calendar, her bookmarks, her maps search history, her messages.
Sometimes
her
I just play on the Maps app.
Y'all, they want her device settings. Do y'all hear what I'm saying right now? Her settings, okay? They want the iOS device backup information.
Key 2019, not 13.
Huh?
Key said 2013. I said 2019, not 2013.
Oh no, February 13th, 2019. They want her iOS device backups, any iCloud backups, including data storage and other iCloud services.
It's the apps that were downloaded. You want every app that I've ever downloaded?
Her Apple Watch backups. Oh, I was saying 13th, Key. I was probably reading 13th. February 13th, 2019 to present. Y'all, they want her voice memos. Her iMessage content, again, but not limited to recording of incoming, outgoing communications. We read that. Y'all, this is crazy. Y'all see this right here? Y'all see this right here? Baby, they want any device that can be connected, that has been connected by Bluetooth. Okay? Any associated Bluetooth device. Any wearable device, such as an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. Hold on, y'all. They're not done.
What do you get from that? Your health data?
They want that too.
Are you getting
her health data and her fitness data.
Are you getting how out of shape I am? Like, what are you getting from that? How I wheeze when I go up the courthouse steps? What are you getting?
Yes, where she plays Pokemon Go. Y'all, not only that, her Find My iPhone. We want all of that, including but not limited to her connection logs, the messages, the location information. We want the transactional data and activity from Find My iPhone. Remote, they said they want to see if she's ever requested to remotely lock or erase her phone. They want that. All records, data, and information, including but not limited to text messages. Same thing, y'all. Any digital images, same thing there. Any backups, again, they want her FaceTime logs. Recording, y'all. I don't even use Siri, but they said if she's ever used Siri, we need to know what she asked Siri to.
That's why I don't use Siri. Turn it off.
She said if they said recordings of account user with Siri, They want that too. Apple shall disclose the above responsive data, if any, by sending to, and they told them where to send it to. Apple Inc. should also include a custodian of business records affidavit.
Yeah, because you need that if it's going to be used in court. You need a business record affidavit from the custodian. Yeah.
She said, Apple and related account details. We know all of that. Searches within the Apple app shall assist in identifying the identity of the account holder, presumably the user of said account. So that's why they're asking for the name and all of that, right? Y'all, these people said searches will also include, check this out, y'all. This is crazy. Any images or references to Detective Danny Polo or his family.
Who's Danny Polo?
He's the one who testified with the damn mask on.
I didn't watch the first trial, so I'm out of the loop.
They said any searches for realtors as it relates to Detective Danny Polo. Why realtors, guys? Help me out. Why realtors? Any search. Oh, y'all. Oh, y'all finna holler.
What?
Y'all finna holler when you hear this one. Any searches for a Cash App as it relates to Danny Polo and his family. Remember, you guys said that they found his identity by searching the wife. Are they trying to say she did it? Okay. Any searches for Jacob Cherry, aka 1090 Jake. I don't know why that's a problem. That's like a content creator. Why can't she be filling out what the public is saying about her client?
Also, why can't she search Cash App? That Cash App and Venmo are like another form of social, or not Venmo. Yeah, Venmo, another form of social media. I'm seeing who's paying who for what.
Oh, Shonda's saying the wife is a realtor. Okay. Thank you. Any reverse phone number searches for Detective Danny Polo and his family.
Oh, so are they saying that maybe the witness tampering involves that gang expert and his family?
It seems like it to me. They're trying to say that he was threatened or something, and that it tracks back to her. Okay.
Let me say something before you keep going.
No, that's really it, guys. That's really it. Everything that I kind of read about the rest of the search warrant, it goes into different ways they want to get that same type of information. That's really it.
I'm sorry, come off the case.
You think she needs to come off the case?
That search warrant
is so broad.
It gives but it gives a ton of detail of what they're looking for.
But what if she really had nothing to do with it, though, May?
The look of it
is bad.
And again, that is where you have to put your client's best interest in front of what you want, because the look of impropriety. And again, that's like sometimes it's the look of it. And if people are going to be accusing your attorney and
witness tampering, Derry, must be him and Mariah, because Mariah is also a part of the witness tampering case. Sorry about that.
It just becomes what is in his best interest, and it may not necessarily be what's in your best interest, but you have a duty to your client. They wouldn't have necessarily locked her up if they want more information. Sometimes people keep it going if they want more.
I agree with that too.
And again, I'm not saying I agree with the state, because I don't. And I take everything that the state says with a grain of salt.
That's a great point. If they found anything in all of this, it's been a year. And the judge was not buying it.
You've got time to bring charges, though.
But listen, the judge wasn't buying it, though. The judge,
Okay.
they tried to say like, oh, we don't want to turn over the search warrant because people would be trying to escape prosecution. They'll get rid of evidence, blase, blase. The judge said, baby, it's been a year.
That I agree
You
with.
guys are not making me feel like you really want to bring press charges because it's been a year.
Yeah. And that's why, and it goes back to my original question of, had Apple not notified her and she never found out that she was under investigation, would they have said that this is a conflict? Or would they have let her keep going? Or would they have let her keep going knowing that she was under investigation and not said a word?
They wouldn't have said a word. It's been a year. It's been a year. I don't believe they would have said a word. Yes, I can, EBS. Let me look for it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm over here needle pointing and did not
He's
see.
needle pointing over there, girl.
My bad.
Let me find the comment real quick. She wanted me to read something to you. Look at y'all. Yeah, I see y'all comments talking about Danny Polo. She does need a Alice, you did. That lady needs a track phone.
And what they're asking for is wild.
It's a lot. I hate when y'all say, Mel, can you go read my comment? And I don't see it.
Apple tells her because typically remember when, and I hate to bring this up, remember when Google told Miss Sylvia?
Google did tell Miss Sylvia.
They typically tell you when they've turned stuff, it's not going to stop them from doing it, but
they'll tell you.
They'll tell you that they've gotten a search warrant. I've got third grade granny allegations. Hold on.
EBS, you're gonna have to put in the chat, friend. I can't find it.
Someone tell me where these allegations coming from.
That mask scared the jury. The mask scared me. I said, why the hell is this man on stand in this mask?
Yeah, Alice. I mean, that was the only like comparison that I could say of like something else that everyone would know of.
Yeah, I remember that, but I remember her saying that that's who told her.
Yeah, because I mean, Google emailed her. People were like, "Oh, is this fake?" And no, it's. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep. I'm actually happy they told her though.
Oh, absolutely.
As she says, he's undercover a lot. And that's why he had to hide his. It was a lot. I remember that. It was all over the internet because he was up there testifying with that damn mask on. And if I'm not mistaken, he was up there to just testify about gangs. And
did he have a full shiesty on?
Reading the text messages, which was crazy.
Mel, did he have a full shiesty on?
Let me show you. He did. He had a full shiesty mask on. It was weird.
Who was letting that man have a full shiesty on in the middle of court?
It was just a lot. Where is he? Girl, not him up here doing the game.
Jesus. Yeah, whoever had that question, if you post it again, I'll look this time.
Since that time and before.
And the undercover.
Yeah, they not showing his whole face.
How about in the state of Florida? You know?
I'm sure there's other
Let me see what the argument is. There's no argument.
DA.
Okay, detective on this particular.
I'm sorry. If I can hear your voice and see your whole body, you think I'm not going to recognize you if you're undercover?
Training experience you can offer an opinion on?
Yeah, it's mentioned throughout multiple.
I didn't like this part. This is something I did not like. Him being on that stand and interpreting messages. Like, I'm sorry. One, it's a white man. You can't tell me that you know everything that these boys are saying. I am a 37-year-old black woman. Hell, I don't know half the stuff they were saying in these messages.
And I'm sorry, white cops undercover are notoriously the worst ones because you can always tell they're a cop. Every time they give off a smell, an aura, you can always tell the white cops that are undercover are cops.
Okay, here's a picture because I was having a problem finding you a video, but here he is. I just searched him on Google, and this was him on the stand. And you see he has on different suits every day. Every day.
Blow the one where he's standing. Blow that up. Second
This one here?
row, fourth over. Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah. What?
Oh Lord, what happened?
Can you make him bigger?
Lord, look at me. Oh, there we go. View image. Maybe that'll work for us right there. Yep, there you go. Does he have braids or something?
Why is it not getting bigger?
That's not bigger for you? I can probably make you big. There we go. Can you see it now?
No.
No?
It's small.
Why is it small on y'all end? It's not small like that. Oh, hold up, y'all. I didn't see that it didn't switch for y'all. Hold up, because I'm like, no, it is bigger. There you go. This is what I was trying to show you, Yates. It was bigger on my end.
What is that in the shexy? Is that his hair?
I wonder if he has braids. Y'all, this is what I was doing. I was making it bigger, but I didn't know that you guys couldn't see it. So I'm like, oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I was on the wrong tab. It's when I clicked on the image, it opened a new tab. I didn't know that it opened a new tab.
I feel like he's just got like a giant man bun.
He probably does.
Ew.
He may have braids or something, or a ponytail. The last two people we've seen with ponytails didn't have hair at the top, so I hope he's a little different.
Also, could they not have found a tighter mask that gives the whole outline of his face?
I don't know. I don't know. But I think this was really weird for him to be in court testifying this way, especially because they only had him in court to testify. He testified like to gang things and interpreting text messages like you couldn't find anyone else who wasn't undercover. But I think, was he related to the case, guys, or was he just their expert? I don't remember. Well, Erica, look at his hair. It might be braids. Look right there.
If he's a white man with braids, then he definitely shouldn't be undercover.
Look right here. That could be braids. That could be braids, y'all. Those are straight backs. Sleepy. I think so too.
Okay, this is gonna be a very, very dumb question. What are straight backs?
Just braids that go to the back.
Just braids that are straight back?
That are straight back.
Okay.
Yep. He might have a wig on. It definitely looked like braids now. He could have on a wig. You could be right there. It could be a wig. I think he's Latin. He said he might have a rocket. They say he may have a rocket braid down. But yeah, so yeah, this is where we are with him. And that's who's referenced in this affidavit as well.
Is his real name Danny Polo?
I don't know. Well, he has to testify truthfully in court. I don't know. Would they do that? Make an exception for him?
I've dealt with like undercover cops, but I've never dealt with like name changes or anything. So I don't know. Interesting.
Okay, hold up. Here we go. Thank you, EBS. She said, Yates, can you please tell us what could have been on the affidavit that could warrant an approval for such a request for Raven's information? Great question, EBS. Thank you for finding that. And I still don't know why I wasn't able to find it.
So it's basically like a probable cause affidavit, essentially. So you don't need a ton. if they were alleging that she contacted Danny Polo, or if they're alleging that she contacted Danny Polo's wife to try and do anything, if they're alleging that she was contacting people on Melly's behalf and saying things that may not have been covered under like the attorney-client relationship, that could be something.
But they would have to put it in that affidavit and say, look, judge,
They would have to give some.
things, well, not based on these things. We need these things to verify that this actually happened.
Well, and they could even say that based off of information given to us by so-and-so who has been, I mean, there could be something where it was a confidential informant that was involved. I mean, or this person gave us information and they've never lied to us before.
Got you.
Or,
but I'm telling you, I
based
think
on my
Raven
training
said
and
they use them. They use
what
these
they
two
love to say. What they love to say is based on my training and experience, which covers fucking everything. All they have to put is why they think something, and it's just gotta be probable cause. That gets most of the time a search warrant to investigate further.
So y'all, Ash. Okay, y'all, let me post this picture. Ash just sent me Danny Polo's picture, and I want to explain why
his whole picture.
I'm going to explain why that YouTuber's in here. Because they're trying to see if she's the person who leaked his identity. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I gotta switch it over.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Wait,
why
when was his identity leaked?
Now that I can't tell you. Ash found this, so, and I can't confirm if it's him, but the man does have long hair. But this would make sense why they want that YouTuber. They're trying to see if the defense in some way shuffled this information over to this YouTuber, and he was following the the YNW case. So hold on, I'm trying to upload it for y'all. And just get ready to zoom in, y'all. Hold on, it's loading. Okay, can y'all see that? So,
wait, that makes sense.
Now it makes sense because it says on here that he was exposed by the YouTuber. So now it makes sense why they want the YouTuber's information.
Because if they're alleging that she gave the information to the YouTuber,
yep,
and they're saying that by his information being leaked, because he was allowed to testify
his
anonymously.
With him. God damn it! She said 1090 Jake. He gets
the dots are connecting.
I'm gonna take him down. Take him down. But
oh my god,
that makes sense. She as Zakia said, 1090 Jake. I'd never heard of him before this. That he gets everybody's business. He's better than Wendy Williams. I don't like it because then you end up in cases like this. I love 1090 Jake. Well, 1090 Jake, they're saying that Raven may have leaked this information to him.
That's wild. Jim, come here.
That is crazy, but there y'all have it. That's why 1090 Jake's name was mentioned in there. And Bryson Bonpaul actually addressed it on a tweet. I didn't read the whole thing. I saved it though, because 1090 Jake was trying to clarify why his name was in that search warrant, because y'all know it just got released last week. He must work for Taco Pena. Got to, Raynette. He has to.
That makes a lot of sense.
Wow. Well, there y'all have it. There y'all have it. That right there is wild. But again, I'm with you. It makes sense why they're using his information and the Mariah Hamilton information, because she's also a part of the witness tampering too. If you're in the streets as a rapper and have charges, he going to show your paperwork. That's his content. Oh, Jesus. So he exposes the rappers for like whatever their paperwork is? Well, Jesus. Jesus. See, I don't need that type of content, baby. Have me, y'all know when I do get back, I don't want to be out in Atlanta, somebody trying to run up on me talking about expose they paperwork.
That's wild.
Snitching allegations, charges, all of that. I'm gonna let him have it, baby. I'm gonna let him have it, baby. You can have that one. Snitching and all.
Well, and Kate Tally Pitt said, as good as these people in here are at finding stuff in 30 seconds, what makes them think that somebody couldn't have found that information besides 1090? So it's not that anyone else couldn't have found it. It's just, as an attorney, if it was given to him by the person's attorney, that's not good.
I get that.
And I'm not saying that she did. But that's not good.
If that's the picture, which it seems like that's the picture they're trying to paint, that all of this stuff stemming from something she did. And I wonder why they picked her out of all of the attorneys that are on there. Maybe because she's the youngest, her record.
If she was the one that, because they also made other allegations about her, like she wasn't about letting like another female use her like video call to video with Melly, which you can't do.
Yeah.
Like I'm even iffy. I even have to get permission for my law clerk to use my like Securus. Because when you sign up for an attorney account, at least if they use Securus, when you sign up for an attorney account, you have to send in like your license, your bar card, a picture of you, because the attorney calls aren't recorded. Yeah, and Zakia, that's why the look of it is not good. I'm not saying she did it at all or had anything to do with it, but the allegation is not great.
Well, y'all, that is what we say, a natural stopping point, because that right there is crazy. That is crazy, but I do get it. She said, "Can I use your login? I need to call my little shit." Bye, Key. Goodbye, Key. Y'all,
I don't want an investigation against me.
Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think we're caught up to speed now with the motions and everything that's going on with Melly. May, thank you so much for coming to answer those questions for us, because we were like, get an attorney in here right now. We needed to know. So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I don't always have the answers, but I'm like, if I can give my weird opinion, then
not weird, baby. It is so welcomed over here. We love you over here, and we appreciate it. When you pop back in the chat, they like, Mel, she here. Great. We needed it. So
well, I saw that TikTok message, and I was like, hold on, let me stop scrolling.
Ash said, I'm about to go message May. I said, okay, great. So I'm glad you came. So I appreciate it. Mel, don't go to the gym and play in the people's space. Don't do that, Erica. But thank you, Yates. Thank you for everybody that was here all day. I told y'all we were going to stay on to our normal time today, about 7:30, since they stopped the stream, and we made it. And this was amazing. It gave me the thrill I needed since Rocky ended early. But I will talk to y'all probably not tomorrow, because we already did. I'll be at WTF tomorrow. But outside of that, I'm going to see y'all on Thursday. But thank you again. Done found a wife. Look at her comment. Ash, you done found a wife. Hold on. Okay. I got to get off here. Ash, message me. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all later. Y'all go eat, because I'm about to go eat. Go eat. Bye, y'all. See y'all later.